foundation problems. Learn more at woodsbasementsystems.com. That's woodsbasementsystems.com. Or call 800-388-9326 for a free estimate. That's 800-388-9326. Woods Basement Systems, because foundation problems don't get better with time, they get better with us. All things basementing experts.
We are Woods, we fix basements for your peace of mind.
That's woodsbasementsystems.com.
Hey guys, Glover here from my friends at ARCA, Assisted Recovery Centers of America. So alcohol and opioid addiction is a huge problem in America, as you know. And with the coronavirus, it's become even worse. Just know that there is help right here in our community. Call ARCA at 314-645-6840 or visit arcamidwest.com. Everything is professional, everything is compassionate, and everything is private. That's arcamidwest.com for help.
Listen up. If you wear glasses and are 36 to 45 years old, this week only, if you sign up at brentonvision.com/study, you may qualify to have LASIK and vision correction surgery virtually paid for by the sponsor of a clinical study. Sign up is this week only. Schedule an appointment at brentonvision.com/study. There are a limited number of spots for LASIK eye surgery virtually paid for by a sponsor, and patients from age 36 to 45 will be taken on a first-come, first-served basis this week only. Sign up ends Friday, August 28th. Go to brentonvision.com/study.
More than ever, this is where St. Louis is coming to talk. Computer, smart speaker, radio, phone. People are gathering here. Thanks for listening and staying connected. 97.1 FM Talk. The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Forensic IT, the tech experts that find the root cause of your technical problems. ForensicIT.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us, that's right. Gotta love this American ride.
You need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rip my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Happy Wednesday. Welcome into the Annie Frey Show. Very glad you're here. Do either of you, Katie and Ryan, golly, I am a mess right now. The more time I give myself, the less good I do my job. What is the deal with this?
That's psychological. It's also, everybody does the same thing. If you think you have a lot of time, you take your time. If you don't, you get a lot done.
What have I been doing for the last 2 hours?
Well, that's your problem.
Collecting information.
I just turned my mic on and I got the TV going in the background. Like, this is my first day on my internship. Oh my gosh.
No, your first day, you were too nervous to talk.
My first day on the air, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That is a true story. I have never been more nervous in my lifetime for any single individual thing than I was the first time I filled in for a whole 2 hours on a Sunday night for Mark Cox. I don't know if anybody was listening to me. They probably heard Mark wasn't in and was like, I'm not giving this broad a chance. Now listen to me, folks.
Now
listen to my words.
Now you have to listen because she's on during the day.
And I don't know what I'm doing right now. So this is one of those good ones you don't want to turn away. Everyone loves a train wreck. I mean, seriously, today I went, this morning, I went to Infinite Wellness, went and saw Dr. Ryan, and I got an energy drip, an IV of a little something to get me
up.
When you sit down with somebody and they're like, so how do you feel? You know, how can we help you? Because I had gone on to infinitewc.com and it was showing different things that they treat. Now, a lot of what they treat is arthritic joints. And if you call and mention my name, you can save 25%, which can be a boatload of money. That's a lot of what they focus on. I don't have arthritic joints yet. I'm probably well on my way. So I've bookmarked them and will be going back probably in another 20 years. But they have IV drips that give you energy. And it's like, are you sluggish? Do you have trouble sleeping? Do you feel tired during the day? And I'm like, oh my gosh, these people are following me around. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try this. So I did that. And I left there probably by about 9:30, 9:45. went to the store, took care of recording a bunch of stuff that I needed to for Katie, which I haven't told you yet. So I recorded that stuff you needed me to record for you.
Thank you.
See, that's what I've been doing. And then I look down, we get ready to start the show, and it's like, where is all my stuff? It's all in my head, folks. It's all in my head. I've been inundated. I've been up to my eyeballs in RNC stuff, and I love it. I've said this. I said it all last week when the Democrats were taking their turn. That's their pep rally. This is our pep rally. If your team is the one whose pep rally it is, you're excited. If you're not excited, you're doing it wrong. But last night I watched the RNC simultaneously while doing a 21-day fix Beachbody workout.
Nice.
So I had I told you I drug my husband along and said, would you do this with me? And he's like, yeah, I'll do it with you. So we have Beachbody weightlifting. We were doing the lower body last night, and he's got his phone on YouTube TV propped up, and he's got the Cardinals game on. And then we had my phone propped up, and we had the sound on, and I'm watching Tiffany Trump and Abby Johnson, among other people. And it was motivating for me. This is the nerdiest thing that I could possibly muster is like, how do you really knock out a great workout? Well, I turn on Republican conventions and I just get my blood flowing, and then I really pump some iron. What a nerd.
I thought Tiffany Trump was actually pretty good, so I'm not going to make fun of you too much on that one.
She was the antithesis of the Kimberly Guilfoyle. I was like,
exactly.
It sounded like what Tiffany was doing was letting us in on a secret.
Yes.
And what Kimberly was like, not you, but the people 4 houses down from
Yeah.
you need to know this. You're sitting in front of your TV, so you already know this. I need the people in the other room to hear what I'm saying. So I don't know. I thought overall it was a really great night. There were some that it's interesting. It was an interesting exercise, literally, for me last night to be doing this while I was working out, specifically because people like me generally, like I said, I sit down and I just like give myself completely over to this thing. Like this is a really exciting event for somebody who really digs into the politics. And I don't mind watching the Democrats either, to an extent. But when it's your team, like I said, you're all in. That's not how the majority of people watch this stuff. It's so long. And the RNC, first of all and foremost, I think that the production value, like this is an interesting, captivating, and it's the producers of The Apprentice, from what I understand. I feel like I heard that, but it is good. It's captivating. It's super professional. It doesn't look anything, like I think back to the DNC convention, and they did a lot of the Zoom things where they have people sitting in their living rooms watching Joe Biden speak, and then they'd cut to the people. But the problem is that this is just unfortunate. This isn't like a poke fun at the DNC, because this is just kind of what happens. But there's just enough of a delay to make this uncomfortable on a regular basis. When Joe Biden's talking and he delivers the payoff line, or when Michelle Obama is talking and she delivers the payoff line, and then they cut to the people in the room and they're supposed to be going crazy, and they're like just sitting there waiting for their time. Like, and then like right when they cut away, you can see their face goes, oh, and then they're gone. It's it's just like, oh, I wanted it till I didn't. It's for me. I've laid this out there. I get super uncomfortable when I sense that other people are uncomfortable, and I want to make them comfortable, which sounds really like kind and generous of me, but it's really because I'm very uncomfortable watching it happen. It's like the Phoebe buffet, like trying to do a truly selfish act. It's impossible, because if you do something that is selfless, and it makes you feel good, then that makes it selfish. That is the struggle I had with the DNC convention.
I feel like the RNC too is like total proof that less is more. You know, there's not like artists coming out and singing every other speech, or celebrities introducing congressmen or congresswomen. It's just simple. It's a simple shot with people telling their stories, advocating for the Republican Party, and then you move on.
I'll tell you how I disagree with those comments. All of the speeches, with the exception of Melania Trump, which is why I thought her speech was great, they're to nobody, and they're in a giant hall that's an echo chamber, so you can hear that there's nobody there. That's the only thing I don't like about it. I do think it looks good, but I like the variety of the DNC a little bit more, even though it was more awkward than the RNC. Every speech is in the same spot. You don't get visual stimulus.
But they break it up with packages, and they break it up with people, like Mike Pence walking around Abraham Lincoln's home log cabin or whatever it is. I like the room. I like the idea of the stateliness of it. It is a stunning room. Where is this? Do we know? It's in Charlotte.
It's some museum. I don't know the name of it. It's a museum.
I think it's beautiful. I want to go there. I want to go to there. I don't have a problem with it all, because I definitely still get the vibe that they're talking to me, which I value. Like, I feel I don't need the audience feedback unless you're talking like Kimberly Guilfoyle, where like you need in that instance, it's like the feedback has to be the thing that comes first, that pushes you into giving the level of an I have a dream speech, which was the energy that she brought to that. But the entire National Mall was filled for a civil rights pivotal point in American history. America.
Yes. I finally watched it last night, by the way, and I heard all of the things that we were talking about yesterday.
Did she say America strange?
She did. She said it with an accent that I have never heard before. It's not even her accent.
It's certainly not a Midwestern accent.
Okay, so we're going to talk more about the convention throughout the course of the show. I don't want to belabor it all right now, because we have Liz Harrington with the RNC coming on next. We've got Tim Jones coming on. See, I keep looking over there where my paper's supposed to be, that if I had my act together, if I would have given myself less time to prepare, I would have done it the correct way. Is anybody else like that? Please, tell me on the Facebook chat if you understand what I'm saying. Less is more. And if you are a procrastinator, you definitely will relate to this. The other thing I want to talk about real quick is what the heck is going on with the way they're saying Laura for the hurricane. Have you heard this? Has there been everyone's saying Lara. It's like Lara from America. Lara is coming towards America in Louisiana.
LARA? Is it spelled
No,
strange?
I think I saw it was LAU. All the LARAs out there are real offended now. Good job, Ryan. Is it spelled
strange? Real weird.
There's LORA, there's LAURA, and there's LARA. Isn't this one LAURA?
Yeah, it is. Hurricane Laura.
Laura, thank you.
What? And they're saying
Lara.
Lara.
What is it? A bunch of Minnesota reporters?
I don't know what it is, but it's happened like 3 different times with 3 different people on at least 2 different networks. And I'm like, I can't, this is the important part of this hurricane. But come on, people.
Right.
If it's LORA, I would say Laura.
Laura, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little bit more emphasis on the O.
Like lore, LOR. Laura, that's how I would say this one. But Lara, I don't get it. I don't know. Maybe I heard 2 people. I think I heard what's the Melissa Francis? She's one of my favorites. And I was like, no, not you too.
They got to you.
Come on. Yeah. So Vicky says on Facebook, Lara drove me crazy. I stopped listening to them all. I need to know what's happening down here to my southern friends in Louisiana and the Gulf. Leave it to 2020 in the middle of going into this massive election season to be like, how about 2 hurricanes in the Gulf at one time? How about we do that? So we're going to keep watching that. I heard it's supposed to potentially make landfall before dawn. It is last I heard was that it was going to make landfall at a Cat 4. That's intense.
Yeah, that's bad news.
So we're going to be sending up prayers for all of our neighbors in the South and watch what happens here for sure. Let's take a quick break because Liz Harrington is going to join us when we come back. She's with the RNC. I'm going to ask her, how does she feel about, what was set out to do with the RNC? Where was it? When it's being planned, is this what you anticipated? Is it better than you anticipated? We'll talk to Liz Harrington in just a minute. Don't go anywhere.
Looking around the house, hidden behind the window and the door.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show.
Life, but there's nobody home.
Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Well, maybe I'm just too sure.
Decision 2020 is here at 971talk.com/election. Brought to you by Hanson's Tree Service. Contact Hanson's Tree Service. Our work is tremendous. 97.1 FM Talk.
It's one thing to be stuck in your house due to COVID-19. It's another thing to be stuck with a house. We have good news for homeowners listening throughout St. Louis. Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis is still buying houses. More importantly, we offer sellers a completely virtual selling process that maintains social distancing standards. Sell your home now. Call Chris today and get a cash offer in just 7 minutes. Call 314-782-7000. Can't collect rent? Not a problem. We buy My Tenant Won't Pay Me the Rent houses as well as vacant houses. We buy houses as is and deal with any situation. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call Chris today and get your house sold. 314-782-7000. That's 314-782-7000. 314-782-7000.
Those home improvement projects that you've got rolling around in your head, maybe you've done some organizing over the last few months while you've had a little extra time at home, and you've started to have those visions of how your house could be even more of a home for you, for your spouse, for your family, maybe for the family when they come over. Maybe you want that addition, that extra bedroom added onto the house. Lakeside Renovation and Design is the place to go. They have an 18 months interest-free financing option for you. They also have a promotional financing option that includes 0% interest when your purchase is made with a Marvin Home Design credit card issued by Synchrony Bank. If you are looking for an interior or an exterior transformation to your home, lakesiderenovationanddesign.com, their website, has so many gorgeous examples of ways that they have really brought homes to life on the exterior with its James Hardy siding or the infinity windows. Oh my gosh, this stunning transformations. I love looking at each and every one of them. If you've got a transformation in your future, put it in the hands of the folks at Lakeside. You won't be disappointed. LakesideRenovationandDesign.com.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Marvelous, because I, a thespian, have been on a quest for the perfect insurance.
Sweet balcony.
I've requested no less than 13 balconies.
That's a lot.
All the world's a stage.
Well, with Liberty Mutual, thou customize and thou saveth.
That's the spirit.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I like a bed that's really firm.
I need something a little softer than that.
Rest easy. With the Sleep Number 360 smart bed, you can both adjust your comfort with your Sleep Number setting.
Can it really help me fall asleep faster?
Yes, by gently warming your feet.
Okay, but can it help keep us asleep?
It senses your movements and automatically adjusts to keep you effortlessly comfortable. Sleep Number, proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. It's our biggest sale of the year where all beds are on sale. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed, only for a limited time. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
You may wonder, what does a home warranty even get me? Is that something that's worth my time? And that's a great question, because for a long time, I wasn't sure what a home warranty was either. But then I got together with my friends at Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance, and I have learned that through Upkeep, your appliances are all covered, your plumbing and electrical systems are covered, your heating, your AC. So these are huge issues when it comes to your home. Inevitably, you're going to run into a problem at some point. And that's going to be really expensive to fix unless you are covered under that home warranty. And the best part about Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance is they are never going to deny your claim due to lack of maintenance, because their technicians are out at your home 4 times a year, maintaining your equipment and making sure that you are good to go. Upkeep is offering $100 off to DGS listeners. Just use code DGS. Check out their website, upkeepstl.com.
The latest local forecast and severe weather coverage you can count on from the name in St. Louis weather.
This is 97.1's Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
On 97.1 FM Talk. Powered by Air Comfort Service.
Can't explain all the feelings that you're making me feel. My heart's in overdrive and you're behind the steering wheel. touching you, touching me, touching you, got to touch you.
A message for all the Democrats out there who think that voting for Biden's still a good idea, who are still bullying Trump supporters, who are canceling things for past mistakes instead of learning from them. Aren't you tired? Isn't being angry all the time so exhausting? Isn't grieving all the time so draining?
You know, when you listen to when you're hearing these people come out on, you know, through the walk away movement, when you're hearing people come to grips with maybe a little bit more of what reality is, maybe more of what the truth is, not what they've been told. It's always interesting to me to hear people have their eyes open to who Donald Trump really is. There definitely is the Donald Trump that he shows us through his Twitter. There's definitely the aggressive nature with which he fights back. But I wish people would understand how much of it is fighting back and is not, just this contrived understanding that he's some sort of hateful, racist, misogynist, sexist. He's not that guy. And you can listen to person after person, whether it's at the RNC or anecdotally over the course of his entire administration, understanding that this is a man who's very generous and he's very caring. He's that person has never, ever, ever had the opportunity to be displayed to the American people because there's been an active, aggressive agenda out there trying to stop it from ever, ever, ever getting to your ears. And I think it's interesting when people do the legwork themselves and discover that maybe what they've been told so far is wrong. Let's get to our guest, RNC spokesperson Liz Harrington, joining us right now. We're very grateful to have you on the show with us, Liz. Thank you so much for the time today.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
For sure. I want to ask you, how is the convention going so far? Are the folks at the RNC happy about the progress and generally pleased with the way it's unfolding?
Absolutely. We couldn't be happier because we're really showing the true story of America and the people that live in it and the people that make this country run. And the president who leads our country, what you just said is so true. They never show the real side of President Trump. And I encourage listeners and viewers all the time, just go to the source. And now you have an opportunity. Don't even watch on CNN or Fox or anywhere else. Just go to C-SPAN or go to the live stream and just see, this is our argument, right? We live in an open and free society. Let's have a debate. This is our argument. These are our ideas. This is what we believe the country is, and this is where we want to take the country going forward, living up to those ideals. And decide for yourself. Be a free thinker. And the media will, what they say about the country and what they say about the man who leads it is a lie. It's not true. We're not a racist, irredeemable, deplorable nation. We have flaws. We're made of human beings. We've never been perfect. Every human being has flaws. But we are a unique country that was written into our system of government to say, we will rule ourselves. Our rights come from God, not from government. And government's job is to protect those unalienable rights. That's what has led to the most freedom and most opportunity, the most just amazing legends that have come before us in all walks of life. And we've heard from them throughout this week. It's because of our founding and the way it was written into our system. It's worth defending. And I think you've seen such a contrast in the first night was really laid out what the Democrats are doing in the places that they run. They didn't even mention the riots, the far left mob that's wreaking havoc in the cities that they've been running for decades. They can't mention it because that's their agenda in practice. We are proud of our president at the top of the ticket. He's not an afterthought that's just hiding in the basement. We're also proud of our agenda in practice. Opportunity zones, the USMCA, building the wall, following through on our promises, defeating ISIS, just lifting people up, building prosperity. No pandemic from communist China is going to take that away from us, and we're not defeated. We will overcome when we live up to what sets this country apart, which is our freedom.
Liz Harrington is with the RNC. She's a national spokesperson on the phone with us. Liz, I'm sure that those voters that you guys are seeking with this 4-day event, some of them, the middle ground voters, they may not tune in or may just see things through clips or hear about it the next day. How do you feel, and this is a low bar, I'm sure, but how do you feel about the coverage that you're getting so far through the mainstream media?
Well, I think you can kind of see it on their faces at night, right? You turn on CNN and they don't look too happy. It looks like, November 8th, 2016. And so, of course, they're, focusing on ridiculous, procedural things, and because they can't attack the message. They can never attack the message because that message was a unifying one. It was one of hope and healing last night. The naturalization ceremony. I mean, what could be more important? The pardon. What could be more important at a time where this country is divided than to show a real story of redemption with law enforcement and a man that had broken the law and robbed a bank and went to prison and turned his life around and now dedicates his life, Joe Ponder, to helping others that were in a situation like he was. That's what's best about America. And if you're getting your news from CNN and MSNBC, I think most people know by now. I mean, the ratings are pretty shot. They've been lying to you. They've been dividing us. They've been saying that we're not, a good country, that we need to be fundamentally transformed. Well, we don't. And so you can't just go to their coverage. You need to go to the source, and you need to see President Trump, the real man, the real leader who truly does care about this country. And he only wants all of us to succeed, no matter where we come from, whatever station of life we're in. He wants that opportunity for everyone. And you only get that opportunity for everyone when you establish justice, when you have law and order, when you defend and uphold one standard, one set of rules for everyone, not one set of rules for the swamp and the rest of us, not one set of rules for these Democrat mayors and governors who can, go get their jewelry and go to their second home in Michigan during these lockdowns and everything else, get private security while their city burns and they defund the police. Those days, they're so troubling. They have to end. And that's not America. That's not what America's ever been about. And that's what we're fighting for, upholding those founding principles, equal justice under the law.
Liz Harrington with us right now, GOP national spokesperson. I want to ask you about this Joe Biden tweet, 8:30 a.m. this morning. This is what he said. I promise you that as president, I will protect America. I will protect you and your family. I will defend our nation from threats seen and unseen. It's the least of what we should expect from an American president. Joe Biden spent a lot of time protecting himself in the basement. He has not come out to speak to the people and listen to what is really concerning Americans right now. And from what I understand, the president has just announced some action that he's going to take towards Kenosha to try to establish some order there. And also, Joe Biden's making a lot of big promises about how he's going to protect me, but it seems to me like he and Beto are going to be buddies and trying to make sure that, hell yeah, we're going to come take your guns. What's Joe Biden trying to sell here, and how does it compare? He said that's the least you should expect from your president. Are we not getting that from Trump already?
Exactly. We're getting that and more some. That's why he's securing the border. That's why he's fighting for our law enforcement that's under siege. I mean, this is domestic terrorism, what's going on in Portland and all these cities with firecrackers and attacks and blinding cops with lasers. Where's Joe Biden? He called that peaceful. Where's Nancy Pelosi? She called the cops Gestapo and stormtroopers. We see what side they're on. They're for utter lawlessness. They see the justice system as just merely another tool in the political arsenal. That's all they care about. It's politics for power. And, he's going to be pressured, I think, finally, because Don Lemon really kind of let the cat out of the bag. He said, well, something needs to happen now, not because people are losing their livelihoods and their small businesses burnt to the ground, not because people are being shot and killed in this mayhem and anarchy, not because this has been going on for over 80 days in Portland. No, because the focus groups are coming in. That says it all. They don't stand up for what's right and wrong. They're too afraid of the mob because it's their base. And I don't want to hear another darn question about some weird conspiracy theory that somebody happened to tweet about. I want to hear what the fringe radical left is. I want every Democrat to come on the record and denounce Antifa. Is it a myth? Jerry Nadler, where they are actually threatening the lives and livelihoods of law-abiding citizens. They are destroying these cities, and it's far past the time that these Democrat mayors and governors do something about it, or President Trump will.
Liz, we're carrying President Trump's speech on this station tomorrow night, just like we carried Biden's. But I don't know if you ever can say exactly what he's going to do. He seems to go off script sometimes. But what should we be expecting from that speech tomorrow night? Is it going to be heavy on policy? Is it going to be kind of a State of the Union type thing, or what?
I think it's going to be very much in the same tone of the State of the Union and also the Mount Rushmore speech. We really are, this is a choice election. I don't think we've ever had a bigger choice because Democrats have really made it clear how far left they would take this country, and they want to rip it up and start over. We have to defend it because, as Maximo Alvarez said, our opening night, there's nowhere else to go. So it's going to hit those notes. It's also going to talk about, it is aspirational because as long as we protect it, as long as we defend our freedoms, there's nothing we can't do. And this president has accomplished so much in such a short amount of time, but there's more we can do because he's a problem solver. He is a builder. He's a doer. And to think about things that never get any attention, like forward-looking, like Space Force, a new branch of the U.S. military. I mean, this doesn't happen. This doesn't happen every day. But this president is unconventional. He's out of the box. He does what others refuse to do or what others say is impossible. He proves them all wrong. And that mentality, that's what we've needed in this country to get this economy roaring again. The V-shaped recovery is not an accident. It's because we came in because President Trump got back to the basics of letting Americans go out and forge their own path, get the government out of the way, let us make our own way again. And that's what we've been doing. No pandemic from communist China. This is a huge issue as well. They didn't want to mention the riots last week, and they didn't want to mention China. These are the big issues of our time. It's about preserving America at home and defending ourselves from the biggest threat. It wasn't Russia. It wasn't Ukraine. It was always China. And now I think people are seeing that. And this president, he's going to be talking about all these things that are so important. He's going to cover it all. But I think it's going to be really from the heart, and it's really going to draw that line in the sand again. This is what we stand for. We stand for truth and the American way. We know what the other side stands for, and it's not upholding our founding principles.
Well, as a college-educated suburban mother of three, I have enjoyed every bit of what I've heard so far, and I did pay attention last week, and it is resounding to me. Law and order is very important to me and my family, and I look forward to seeing what is said tonight at the convention, and also tomorrow night we will be watching. And Liz, we're very grateful that you could squeeze us in today. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. We'll talk to you again soon. Liz Harrington, GOP national spokesperson, they're joining us on the show. Kind of hard to get them this week because they're busy folks. This is probably as busy as it gets for the RNC specifically. So we're grateful that they made some time for you today. Let's take a quick break. I'm interested to know, I really am interested in hearing from women. I don't want men to not call, but if you're a woman out there and you've been watching this, I'm just curious, what's your take? I don't care if you're for it or against it. Whatever your vibe is regarding what you've seen so far, or if you've chosen not to watch it, I'd be curious to hear from you as well. Give us a call, 314-241-9797. That's 314-241-9797. If you don't want to call us, jump on the Facebook live stream here. We've got a lot of people watching, and join the conversation there and tell us, what do you think about what you've seen so far with the convention? We'll be back in just a minute. Don't go anywhere.
Touching you,
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @Annie Frey Show.
listening to the Annie Frey Show, live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for the Honor Flight today at gslhonorflight.org. And for free HVAC estimates, visit aircomfortservice.com.
I'm Stephen Lynch, General Sales Manager at Volvo Cars West County. If you've been waiting on buying your new Volvo, don't wait any longer. The 2021 models are rolling in, and we need to move the 2020s. While they last, save up to $14,000 off MSRP. Lease payments on the stylish 2020 S60 T5 Momentum sedan, only $329 a month. The sporty XC40 T4 Momentum, $339 a month. And the popular XC60 T6 all-wheel drive Momentum, only $439 a month. Volvo Cars West County, always a wide selection to choose from and superior service you have come to expect. And now lease payments starting at $329 a month. Visit Volvo Cars West County on Manchester Road, 4 miles west of 270, or online at wcvolvocars.com. You can be assured the safety and health of our customers is top priority. 2488 due at signing. Go to wcvolvocars.com/specials for details with approved credit. Offer expires 8/31/20.
So have you ever inherited something that was from somebody who you hold dear, somebody that you love? It's valuable to you because of where it came from, but it's not your style. Well, how about I introduce you to National Rarities? NationalRarities.com. The phone number is 888-787-1112. National Rarities is a reputable company with an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, and they have an unmatched reputation for integrity and honesty. GIA certified buyers. So you're going to be confident you're working with a trustworthy company full of experts. If you have stuff collecting dust around the house, you need National Rarities. They'll tell you what it's worth. Gold, platinum, sterling, silver, coins and currency, antique toys, autographs, watches, artwork, paintings, all this kind of stuff. Reach out to them and see what they can do. They are a St. Louis company that works nationally, and they have a fantastic reputation. You won't be disappointed with your relationship that you can build with them. 888-787-1112. That's 888-787-1112, nationalrarities.com.
Dear beloved kitchen, we've had a lot of great times together, from morning coffee to midnight snacks and everything in between. You've been there for us. And these days, you're so much more than that. You're also a classroom, an office, and the perfect setting for our unforgettable game nights. You really are the heart of our home, but we're starting to outgrow you. We need more. That's why we called Mosby Building Arts. Mosby made it easy to bring you into the 21st century. Their team designed a beautiful new kitchen that looks great and feels even better. And they finished on time and on budget. I'm so glad we finally have the kitchen of our dreams, so we can keep making memories together for years to come.
Have a dated kitchen that you've been dreaming about renovating? Call Mosby at 314-909-1800 or visit callmosby.com.
Mosby Building Arts. Home never felt so good.
Selecting a financial advisor is one of the most important decisions you will make heading into retirement. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money every Saturday morning at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Choosing a financial advisor is a critical step in planning for your retirement. You want to find an advisor you can trust is working in your best interest with the experience to do the job well. Providing guidance solely in your best interest is foundational to our team's approach. And with over 90 years of combined experience, you can have confidence we have the depth of knowledge to help you navigate important financial decisions. If you're retiring in the next 5 years or need a second opinion on your current plan, contact us today for a free consultation. To schedule your free retirement planning consultation, contact us at bobstockdale.com. That's bobstockdale.com. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
From local leaders to national figures, they're talking here. Stay connected at 971talk.com or radio.com and stream the station anytime, anywhere.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Thanks for joining us today. Whether you are listening to us on your lunch break on 97.1 FM, we're grateful for that. You can also stream us at radio.com, a real handy app to have on your phone. Just find 97.1 FM Talk on your radio.com app, and you can favorite it and stream the whole station. So Brian Kilmeade leads into me. I go into Dave Glover's show, and you can just keep us on the whole time. Start us off with Mark Cox Morning Show. So we were talking a little bit about the convention. Ryan thinks that it's a misstep to have them speaking in this big open room to nobody. I personally like it. Katie, how do you feel about it?
I really like it. I like it so much. I don't like things that are corny and just like really hokey. And I feel like that to me was the DNC last week. And the RNC this week has just been so straightforward. I understand what they're saying. I love that they're talking about policy. It makes more sense to me.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's get some phone calls on here. I'd love to hear from anybody who's watching and your thoughts and opinions on it. But I definitely want to hear from women who watched it. And because I think that they are trying to make an honest case that they aren't who they've been painted to be. And I think that they're doing a good job of it. I also believe that I don't think Donald Trump is a racist. He's just, I'm not even going to qualify it on why I think he's not a racist. I don't believe he's a racist. And I think that needs to be said. If you believe that, I think that we need to be speaking up about it. That whole silent majority thing needs to be a little less silent right now, because the silent majority, if it doesn't show up on November 3rd, it doesn't matter. And I think there's a lot of misinformation that exists in the world that we can correct, or at least start the conversation about. And if somebody's like, no, absolutely, he's a racist, then you talk about it and you end up where you end up. But you still respect each other, you love each other enough to even have the conversation. So if you want to join us, 314-241-9797. Shelly, I think, is holding on the line. Shelly, thank you so much for calling the show.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What'd you think so far?
I do like it. I'm in the over 50 crowd, and I live in the city of St. Louis, and do not have a Trump sign in my front yard. But I do have a 25-year-old daughter, and I was wondering what your opinion was on why the RNC didn't get somebody in the likes of Candace Owens or Ben Shapiro.
Shelly, thank you for the phone call. I appreciate it. You're breaking up a little bit here. So if you hadn't finished your point and you want to call back, you can let Andrew know. Charlie Kirk did speak. Kim Klacik did speak. I'm looking through the list here. I don't know what Young is. I'm afraid to ask because I have a feeling I'm not going to qualify.
Well, Nicholas Sandman. He's about as young as they get. Yesterday.
Man. Okay. So let's talk about Nick Sandman. Thank you for bringing him up. There's nothing like watching what took place with Nick Sandman. He's the young teenager who went to the pro-life, the March for Life in Washington, D.C. As he said last night in his speech, he said that he bought a MAGA hat after the March for Life occurred. He said he appreciated so much how Trump was such a pro-life advocate. He gets done with the march. They're from Kentucky, so they went to the Lincoln Memorial. Kentucky's the birthplace of Abraham Lincoln. He buys a MAGA hat and he has it on. He said that he stood there because he was trying to think of how to not escalate the situation. And he smiled because he was actually at the time thinking about some advice that somebody had given to him to not embarrass his family, his friends, or his community. That was his reaction. He's a kid, folks. So he gets slandered and smeared by CNN. Was it the Washington Post was the other one, I think?
Yep.
And he takes them to the bank. I don't think that we know what the actual the number is because that is non-disclosed. But last night, he is at the RNC in front of the Lincoln Memorial giving this speech about how much fake news existed in the smearing, as he rightfully identified it, trying to cancel him. He's a freaking kid, and it didn't work because he fought back, because he wasn't willing to bow down to the mob. And he made the point. Nobody from these entities ever came to get my side of the story. They created a story as the event was unfolding, and you remember they were beating on the drum in front of his face, and he just stood there and he smiled, which was a crime, apparently, according to people in the mainstream media who hated him because of his hat. mind you. That's why they hated him. If he wasn't wearing a hat, or Lord knows if he would have been wearing some sort of, Obama material, or I don't know what kind of, what else is out there right now that he could have been wearing at the time. But he's wearing this MAGA hat, and it's a sin to wear that MAGA hat. It's a sin to show people that you support Trump, because you then appropriate all of the sins that have been cast upon Donald Trump. It's like it's contagious. It wears off on you. Donald Trump a perfect guy? No. Are you perfect? Am I perfect? Haha, no. So this faux understanding of Christianity, that Christians are good people and they think that everybody who's not Christian is bad, are bad people. You're missing the point of Christianity, folks. The only reason why you need Jesus is because you're not good enough, because you blew it. That's the bottom line. I'm a Christian. I say that as a Christian. If you're not a Christian, that okay, fine, live your life, and I hope that someday you find something that brings you peace, like my faith has brought me. But you can't take a misunderstood version of Christianity and use that as the measuring stick on people when that's not what they ascribe to. Being a Christian means that you're not a perfect person. So Donald Trump is allowed to be a Christian because he needs Jesus in the exact same capacity that I do, which is why, as a Christian myself, I don't look at Donald Trump and think, well, I could never support him because he's done X, Y, and Z. That's why I could always support you as a brother or sister in faith, because I believe that we are all on the same side of the perfect line, and we need what's on the other side of that perfect line. So you've got Nick Sandmann standing there, and he's keeping his mouth shut, but he is smiling. And that's being covered on CNN. He's telling the story on CNN about how he took it to CNN. I don't know that he ever even mentioned it. I don't know if he ever even mentioned the name CNN or the Washington Post. I don't think he ever said it. But there he is on the network that screwed him over. And at the end, he's like, oh, yeah, one more thing. And he takes out a MAGA hat from underneath the shot and puts it on. Oh, my gosh. It was one of my favorite moments of the entire thing so far, and is going to be probably one of the most used GIFs on Twitter here on out when it comes to election gifing. Is that a word? Gifing?
It is now.
Yes.
You just coined it, and you're going to monetize it. I just said it.
I have no idea how to do that, but if anyone wants to help me, tweet at me at Annie Frey Show. But, you've got Nick Sandmann, who is on there. He's young. Abby Johnson is young. I think she's about my age. Tiffany Trump is young. She just graduated from law school, I believe. There are a lot of young people who are speaking here, but they're also speaking from a position of experience. They're not just there because they're young. They're there because they have a specific valuable experience to share with the people. Katie, from what you've watched, I know you haven't sat down and watched all of it front to back. Do you feel like it's kind of old looking?
No, not at all. I mean, that call threw me off guard a little bit, because I think the RNC is trying very hard to make a very wide range, diverse group be presented and represented at the RNC, so that people understand this isn't the party for middle-aged white guy. You're welcome if you're a middle-aged white guy, of course. But that's not the only people that respond to this party, that are attracted to this party anymore. And so I saw a lot of different people there.
Let's get Diane on the phone here real quick before we go to a break. The caller, Diane, thank you so much for giving us a ring. What did you think so far about the
Hi, I have loved the entire process. I'm 100% behind you on the Nick Sandmann. I watched that when Savannah Guthrie interviewed him, and I thought, shame on you. You don't even have the facts, and you just lambasted this young kid. And I'm so glad he sued, and he won a huge settlement, and I'm happy for him, and I'm impressed by him. I've been very impressed by the convention. I think it's been uplifting and positive, and one fabulous speaker after another. Trump is not a racist. I mean, he's had countless people come to his defense in that regard. He's given black colleges money for 10 years. No one ever did that before. He's increased the jobs. He's increased the amount of money that single mothers can deduct to help them raising these children. I mean, he's done amazing things, and people don't like him because he's not part of the machine, and also because he says what he thinks. And let's face it, even though I love Trump, sometimes I wish he'd keep his mouth shut. And I think Melania said the same thing last night. You don't always like what he says, but you always know where he's coming from.
Yes, and that he's authentic. That was the word Melania used last night. He's authentic, and I think that's so accurate. Diane, thank you for the call. I really appreciate your getting your insight.
Okay,
in here.
All right. I hope he wins, because where else are we going to go?
Yeah, according to Maximo Alvarez's dad, there's nowhere else to go. So it's up to us to do the job and make sure that we get our message out as well. But, you know, if you're somebody who is a supporter of this president, are you talking about it or are you hiding it? I understand both of those. I understand a lot of circles where you just don't talk about it because there's so much at stake in your personal life. If you were to come out as a Trump supporter, you're sacrificing by doing so. It is a shame. I feel like we should all pinky lock and say we're all going to do it at one time, and they can't hate us all at one time, can they? Yeah, maybe they can. Yeah, maybe they can. I don't know. Let's talk to Joy Murdoch when we come back. We'll get his take on the Jeff Flakes of the world and what they're doing to try to push it against Donald Trump. I'm surprised Jeff Flake's not supporting Trump in this election. That really just blows my mind. We'll be right back.
I paid the tab and the lady asked. Hello, fashion-conscious home lovers. Let's transform your lovely home's sense of fashion with the most beautifully current and stylish chic designer window treatments. Just contact Michael for an in-home visit at ProctorDrapery.com. 7 days. It's Proctor, spelled like doctor.
Proctor Drapery, the best in town. No finer window fashion can be found. Call for an appointment at your home. Spell Proctor like doctor.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. Mortgage interest rates are in the 2s. Maybe your current rate is in the 3s and you think you're good enough. Well, I can tell you this now. It only takes 5 minutes to see how much money we can save you by dropping your rate into the 2s. And at the Home Loan Expert Office, we're still closing loans in 30 days. Find out how much you can save today at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
The Retirement Advisory Group is an entity that you need to know about. You are nearing retirement. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and boy, that must be nice. Gosh, I hope I get there just like you. You've worked hard. If you're like a lot of people I know, and hopefully me as well, you started out not making much of anything, but you made it. It is a key. It was important to save and to put away what you could. And over the course of your career, you saved more and more. And now the time is almost here. You need Thomas Helbig. You need the Retirement Advisory Group, and you need to call 314-993-9494 because you get a no-cost, no obligation retirement review. You know a great value when you see one. This is an amazing value. This is a call you can't afford not to make. 314-993-9494. He'll show you strategies that they use to protect your savings, your retirement savings. He'll also share with you how you can participate in the growth when the market continues to recover. 314-993-9494, retirementkey.com.
Hey guys, Glover here from my very good friends at ThrottleNet. So if you ever listen to one of these recorded ads, listen to this one. A company can expect 232 targeted cyber attacks per year that results in 30 breaches. 24% of businesses hit with malware took a week or more to regain access to their data. Many businesses just flat go under. They are targeting small towns. They are targeting dentist offices. They are targeting big businesses. They're targeting government. You're going to get hit. Let me tell you about ThrottleNet. ThrottleNet has saved their clients more than $2.6 million in ransom last year alone. And get this. ThrottleNet clients have never paid a dime in ransomware. Let me say that again. They've never paid a dime because they are protected. No contracts. Leave anytime you want. You have to check these guys out.
KFTK FM Florissant, K254CR St. Louis, driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk, a radio.com station.
Hurricane Laura could make history. Lisa Brady, Fox News. It's already a major hurricane and continues to gather strength and water in the final hours before landfall, likely overnight along the Texas-Louisiana line. Fox's Eben Brown has more live.
And Lisa, the National Hurricane Center now says in its new advisory that Laura's sustained winds are at 140 miles an hour, and that means it's reached Category 4. This is what has been predicted for the past day or so. The wind speed is scary, but the rest of the storm is what is concerning. Those hurricane force winds extend 70 miles out from the center. Tropical storm force winds extend 175 miles, and Laura's center is just 200 miles away from Lake Charles, Louisiana, meaning impacts are already being felt. The storm surge could be as high as 15 feet, Lisa.
Thanks, Eben. With those high winds, a lot of concern about power outages, too. President Trump getting a hurricane briefing and tweeting a picture of it, along with reassurance the administration is fully engaged with state and local emergency officials. The president also tweeting, "We won't stand for lawlessness on American streets," and that Wisconsin's governor agrees to accept federal help after 3 nights of riots over the police shooting of a black man in Kenosha. The Democratic governor had already called out the National Guard. Now he's deploying them.
The flashpoint has become the courthouse. Law enforcement has put up a big fence around the courthouse. About 2 hours after the curfew, the demonstrators were trying to tip over that fence. That's when we saw the law enforcement come out with the riot gear. They used the rubber bullets, the pepper spray, the tear gas to try to disperse the demonstrators. The demonstrators respond by throwing bottles, using the fireworks, a lot of the typical stuff.
Fox's Mike Tobin in Kenosha. After those clashes, 2 people were shot and killed. Late reports from neighboring Illinois that a juvenile has been arrested in at least one of those Kenosha killings. America is listening to Fox News.
Bria's fashion boutique is the worst. First, they asked me if I needed help finding anything. Just because I'm gorgeous doesn't mean I need help.
No matter how hard you work for your small business, online reviewers will find something to complain about.
Then they tell me they're having a sale. Oh, so you're assuming I'm poor. Cool.
And while Progressive can't save you from these trolls, we can help you save money on commercial auto and business insurance.
Also, they tried to give me the friends and family discount. I'm not your friend, so.
Get a quote online today at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliated and third-party insurers.
So who is your wireless provider? AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile? The average person is saving $400 a year by switching to Pure Talk USA. Pure Talk is on the same network, same towers, just 50% off in terms of price. Right now, get unlimited talk, text, and 2 gigs of data for just $20 a month. Switch to Pure Talk today. Now, from your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say Pure Radio. That's pound 250, Pure Radio, Pure Talk USA. Simply smarter wireless.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
On this Wednesday afternoon, partly to mostly sunny skies. It's hot. It's very humid. 95 for the high. Tonight, partly cloudy, steamy, 75 for the overnight low. Thursday, it's all about the clouds coming up from the south, from the Hurricane Laura down in the Gulf of Mexico. Very humid, a real tropical feel with developing showers and a couple of thunderstorms going through the afternoon, especially south of St. Louis. 92 for the high. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hey guys, Glover here. If you are nearing retirement or already retired, call Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. He'll show you how to participate in the market games without ever losing a penny. Thomas is the official financial advisor of the DGS.
Listen up. If you wear glasses and are 36 to 45 years old, this week only, if you sign up at brintonvision.com/study, you may qualify to have LASIK and vision correction surgery virtually paid for by the sponsor of a clinical study. Sign up is this week only. Schedule an appointment at brintonvision.com/study. There are a limited number of spots for LASIK eye surgery virtually paid for by a sponsor, and patients from age 36 to 45 will be taken on a first-come, first-served basis this week only. Sign up ends Friday, August 28th. Go to brintonvision.com/study.
This is Frank Bomarito. With over 500 new Mazdas at our 3 locations, Bomarito will have your Mazda at your price. Since we are Missouri's #1 Mazda retailer, you can expect top-notch sales and service on the full line of award-winning vehicles from Mazda. Plus, only at Bomarito, you get America's best warranty on Mazda. 10 years, 200,000 miles, and don't forget, we will always pay you more for your trade. That's Bomarito Mazda in West County, South County, or St. Peter.
Celebrating 20 years of the Dave Glover Show on 97.1 with the DGS's greatest hits. Brought to you by Michael's Flooring Outlet.
Quote unquote, the world's hottest chocolate bar. Hey, Taliban, will you eat one tiny square for $20?
What does it taste like?
Don't say chocolate. Spicy chocolate. Nothing ventured.
I'm getting out of his way.
Tell me if it spreads.
We're on the radio.
Good grief.
We're on the radio. Okay. Now we'd like to sell you a soda for $180. Are you interested?
Give me that 20 back.
Is it spreading? I need to know if it spreads.
And another 20.
Yes, it's spreading. I got a cup of ice water here. I'm thinking maybe $60. Here.
He's on the ground.
DGS 20. Listen. Mike of Michael's Flooring Outlet. Proud to be Dave's first live endorsement and being part of so many sweet memories for the past 20 years. Thank you again, St. Louis and the Dave Glover Show. 97.1. Rock on. Check me out. IGotFloored.com.
Attention St. Louis homeowners. Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis is looking to buy additional 5 houses in the next few weeks. We can pay cash and close in as little as 5 days. We buy houses in any condition, any location, and any situation throughout the St. Louis metro. Call today, 314-782-7000, or go to our website, www.chrisbuysHomesSTL.com. That's chrisbuysHomesSTL.com. Just go there, fill out your information, and we'll reach out to you. We buy houses and apartment buildings. Call us today to get an offer. 314-782-7000. That's 314-782-7000. Or go online to www.chrisbuysHomesSTL.com. The process takes just 7 minutes to get a completely free, no-obligation cash offer for your property. Call Chris now, 314-782-7000. That's 314-782-7000. 314-782-7000.
97.1 FM Talk is on the radio and online on your smart speaker, on your phone, and streaming anytime at 971talk.com. Find it all at radio.com. 97.1 FM Talk. The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Forensic IT, the tech experts that find the root cause of your technical problems. ForensicIT.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on a Saturday, and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, Sid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
And it's a tough topic. You know, no one wants to talk about someone's family, but we have to. When the Democrats at their convention are calling Joe Biden the model of integrity, everything they said about him, how ethical he was, how honest he was, and that's just not true. And the American people had to hear it.
Pam Bondi speaking last night on the RNC at the RNC, and also reacting there to Joe Biden and who Joe Biden is. We've heard a lot about who Donald Trump is, of course, for the last 4.5 years or so. Did he start in 2015? I mean, it seems like a lifetime ago. So, you know, who is Donald Trump? Well, you have an idea. If you went out and asked 100 people who Donald Trump was, there you'd have some serious consistencies, super pro, super against. But the people who were against him would probably have a list of things that sounded very familiar, because it's been reiterated over and over and over again for people to make sure that they understand who Donald Trump is according to the Democrat Party. Then we get to hear some alternative explanations of people who actually work with him, have been in a relationship with him somehow professionally or personally, that have spoken very highly about how caring and generous he is. Well, just recently, we found out that Jeff Flake is partnering with some former Republican individuals who have decided that they're going to endorse Joe Biden. And here to talk about that is Fox News contributor Droy Murdoch. Droy, always great to have you back on the show with us. Love to hear your thoughts on the convention and, you know, the Jeff Flakes of the world trying to persuade some of those Republican voters to follow in their footsteps and support Joe Biden.
Sure. Let's take those one at a time. It's great to be with you again, as always. So far, I guess we've been through about half the convention already. And for one thing, this looks like an actual production, like they got people with maybe degrees in video production or cinema or something like that, rather than what looked like a failed Zoom exercise. Yeah, much easier on the eyes. And in terms of substance, one thing that's been very clear to me is that the biggest victim of this convention so far is the idea that Donald J. Trump is some sort of a racist who hates black people and hates minorities and so forth. We've had some incredibly eloquent, beautifully spoken speeches by Tim Scott, U.S. Senator from South Carolina. We had last night the Attorney General of Kentucky, a 34-year-old man by the name of Daniel Cameron, I believe it is. We had a gentleman who is an American Indian leader who pointed out that I didn't even know this till last night, that President Trump signed some legislation providing the biggest financial aid for people on American Indian reservations, either in history or in decades at least. And there's just been this very consistent parade of people who don't look exactly blonde-haired, blue-eyed. They don't look like Pam Bondi, and they're saying very good things about Donald J. Trump and saying that they are urging his reelection and urging people across the country to support him. So I think that was it was very powerful. I think we'll see even more of that. And I think the hate trade, Trump is a white nationalist narrative has now been chopped to pieces.
Yeah, Roy, it seems like all these Republicans or rhinos or whatever you want to call them, like Flake and like John Kasich, they seem to say the same types of things, and a lot of people on the left say this too, and they're kind of echoing it. I'm going to read a quote here from Jeff Flake. He says, because I am gravely concerned about the conduct and behavior of our current president, I stand here today proudly and wholeheartedly to endorse Joe Biden as the next president of the United States of America. They seem to just not like him personally. Am I wrong?
I don't think you're wrong at all. It's incredibly superficial. It's spectacularly shallow. And Jeff Flake, who I think has a very appropriate surname, is probably the most prominent of these people. And, I don't like him, and we don't like the Twitter, and he's a little loud, and he's so mean, blah, blah, blah. Look, I hope that Joe Biden loses, but if Joe Biden wins the election, I don't want to hear a word, a syllable, a consonant of complaint out of the mouths of Jeff Flake, Ambassador Negroponte, John Kasich, a number of these other people, Christy Whitman, whatever, who've come out, not only said they don't support Trump, but they're actually going to take it a step further and vote for Biden. I don't want to hear a peep out of them when he turns around and raises taxes $4 trillion, when he reinstates the Iran nuclear deal, when he refiles the lawsuit against the Little Sisters of the Poor and force these nuns who make no money, they literally work for free, to add abortion to their health plan. I don't hear anything about it when the federal government is taking our money to pay for as many abortions as possible. Planned Parenthood gets a nice big fat check and is told, carry on, abort as many babies as you can. And then we see the Department of Education reinstitute the Title IX guidance letter, which basically strips away any kind of due process protections against people who are charged with sexual harassment or anything unusual along those lines on college campuses. The PC culture will continue. The cancel culture will continue. The defunding the police will continue. The BLM Antifa agenda will advance. AOC, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris, who's as left-wing as they are, if not more so, they'll get what they want. None of this has anything to do with free market, limited government, conservative principles. And if that's what's being implemented, I do not want to hear a word, a syllable, a consonant of complaint out of the mouths of Jeff Flake, Christy Whitman, John Kasich, and the rest of them, because they're the ones begging for this to happen. And if it does, everything for which these people have fought since they were college Republicans is going to be set ablaze. If it happens, I hope they're happy. My guess is they're actually going to be miserable. I wish they kept their mouths shut and not done what they did with this awful statement endorsing Biden the other day.
We're speaking with Roy Murdoch. He's a Fox News contributor. He's outspoken on a lot of important issues that folks are paying attention to right now. I want to ask you about the idea of law and order. I heard, I think it might have been Frank Luntz was suggesting that Republicans need to be using the term public safety versus law and order. And I personally disagree with that because I don't think public safety really goes far enough based on the visuals that we are seeing from our homes across the country right now. There's a lot at stake going into this November election. And, coming to a suburb near you, there are a lot of people who are looking at what's being permitted in the United States in various cities all across the country. I'm curious about the way you draw a line between what the Biden administration would offer and what the Trump administration has offered and will continue to offer. When people are watching completely helpless businesses being burned to the ground. And the response is they have insurance. That's the stupidest thing that I've ever heard. What do these administrations have to offer if we choose one over the other?
Yeah. Look, the argument, well, they have insurance. At least that's an answer. I don't think it's at all a satisfactory answer, but it's an answer. It's more than we heard throughout 4 days of the Democrat convention last week. They completely, totally, holistically refused to address this entire issue, which has involved the better part of 2, if not 3 months of riots, chaos, looting, destruction of personal private property, destruction of government property, multiple courthouses being set on fire, several police precincts attacked, at least one of them burned completely to its foundation. And the Democrat Party had nothing to say about this. Not even, okay, that they got insurance. I mean, that would have been an improvement. What they said was nothing, zero. I'm waiting for Biden to make some statement about the chaos going on in Kenosha, Wisconsin, where you had this gentleman, Jacob Blake, I guess is his name, who was shot by the police. There's some confusion as to what happened. Who knows if they did this on a justified or unjustified basis. But whatever the police may have done, right or wrong, you had a public library set on fire. You had people's car dealerships set ablaze, an office furniture store, all these private businesses that have absolutely nothing to do with the police, nothing to do with Jacob Blake. They're perfectly innocent bystanders until they burn to the ground. And now, I guess last night we had 2 people shot and killed. I think a third one shot as well. We don't know who pulled the trigger. And Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have nothing, zero, zippo to say about this. Conversely, during the GOP convention, we've heard people talk about the importance of law and order, the importance of supporting the police. If there are cops who do the wrong thing, you need to isolate them. But 99% of them are trying to do the right thing and allow us to go about our lives without having our property set ablaze, without having getting physically attacked, shot, stabbed, or what have you. And I think the difference would be an administration under Joe Biden that would look the other way while this chaos goes on. And the Republicans want to put an end to it. I see nothing wrong with the phrase law and order. Public safety seems like that could involve things like making sure potholes are fixed, or fixing scaffolds so that right. Fixing buildings with scaffolds so that the loose bricks don't fall down. I mean, it sounds like something just involving basic physical safety. This goes well beyond that. It goes to people deliberately attacking the institutions of our society, such as libraries, such as courthouses, such as police precincts, to say nothing of businesses. So I don't see anything wrong with the term law and order. I think it's perfectly appropriate, and I'm glad that the GOP is talking about it. And I should say I'm not surprised, but I'm disappointed that the Democrats have nothing to say about this.
DeRoy Murdoch is a Fox News contributor in New York City, and he is on the phone with us right now. DeRoy, since you're in New York, and I keep hearing about most cities, but especially New York, that people are just leaving in droves. It's a little bit early for us to have actual stats on that, but what are you seeing in New York right now?
I can tell you a couple of stats. Let's see. I can tell you that right now in New York City, we have, I believe it's 30,000 apartment vacancies. We never have vacant apartments here. People move out, then people move right back in. And if you have a nice apartment at a good price, you stay put. The idea is to die there. I believe the vacancy rate has gone up 120% or so year on year. I understand the number of moving vans coming into New York is up like 250% versus last year. So there are a lot of people who've gotten sick and tired of the incredibly deep impact of COVID-19 here, the crime, the riots, the increase in homelessness, the increase in litter. I think the shootings are up year on year about 140 or so percent. Homicides are up about 30%. And maybe the worst thing of all is the sense that no one's in charge here. Mayor de Blasio is completely out to lunch. He's doing a rotten job, and the worse job he does, the more brilliant he thinks he is. He has no sense of self-awareness, no sense of humility, no sense of, gee, maybe I ought to do my job better. Every time he's on camera, things couldn't be better. Things are hunky-dory, and he's the greatest public servant since Winston Churchill. So when you see that kind of response in reaction to all the things going wrong here, a lot of people say, you know what, I've had enough. I'm off to Florida. I'm off to Texas. I'm off to upstate New York. I'm off to Long Island, whatever it is. And there are a lot of people moving out here. And I'll tell you something else that's not going to help at all. This has nothing to do with crime or what have you. But the number of companies that now realize, look, we don't have to pay for all this expensive real estate in Rockefeller Center or Midtown or Wall Street. When you've got people working at home, doing Zoom calls, operating by Skype, sending PDF files around to their colleagues rather than physically dropping them off in their desks. A lot of people are happy working that way. And JP Morgan Chase yesterday said that they are encouraging their employees to work at home forever. And if these big bank buildings start clearing out and people are just going to go home, this whole city is going to sink between the Hudson River and the East River, and it's going to be very sad. And the only way to turn that around is to have capable public leaders who do things like cut taxes, deregulate, improve the business climate from number 50 in the U.S. out of all 50 states to, 45 would be good, 40, maybe somewhere in the 30s or higher, and give people a real incentive to stick around. Because right now the basic deal is you're going to pay a lot of money, you'll pay huge taxes, you've got crime on the rise, homelessness and trash and whatnot on the rise, and every time you look around for a competent political leader, you're struck at best with incompetence and at worst with incompetence, corruption, and a certain really highly frustrating smugness and lack of self-awareness. So all of those things are what New York City has going for it right now.
Yeah, and there's a lot at stake, certainly going forward as we reel back in from COVID and hopefully are able to react. You've got a pandemic and a drastic policy change potentially in November if this country chooses Biden. DeRoy Murdoch, always a pleasure to speak with you. Thank you so much for the time today.
Great to speak with you guys. Talk to you next week. Take care now.
Absolutely. DeRoy Murdoch is a Fox News contributor and he's with us every Wednesday. It's one of those moments where I had to look at the top of the sheet to find out what day it was. I don't know if the days run together for you guys. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. When we have gone back, now that we've gone back to school a little bit and the kids are back in school, it's like everything was shaken up and I'm trying to get back and used to the difference between weekdays and weekends. I'm not quite there yet.
I think having a bit of a schedule actually has helped me to figure out what day it is better.
Yeah.
Although it's not completely normal, it's more normal than it was.
Yeah. Yeah. And I brace myself because as soon as I get situated, well, then it'll probably
it'll change.
It'll change. Thanks to DeRoy for giving us some time today. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to talk with Tim Jones. I'm looking forward to having a conversation with him specifically about the Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron, because his speech last night, which we're going to play for you in its entirety at 1:40. So after we have the discussion, we'll set it up with Tim Jones and we'll play it for you. It was so good. And when you're watching this man, you're like, lead me. We choose you, Daniel. It was so great to hear him. And Tim Jones has a personal relationship with him, knows him well. So we'll talk to Tim Jones about the RNC, about the future of the Republican Party. To me, this bench looks pretty deep. I'll ask Tim what he thinks in just a minute. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe. The Annie Frey Show.
So we parked way out on the Kokomo.
Hey guys, Glover here. If you are nearing retirement or already retired, call Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. He'll show you how to participate in the market games without ever losing a penny. Thomas is the official financial advisor of the DGS.
Our homes are where we feel the most happy, safe, and secure. So when we see cracks in the drywall, uneven floors, or other signs of foundation settlement, we want to make sure that it's repaired right and fixed forever. At Woods Basement Systems, we understand. We're a family business that's been eliminating foundation worries since 1986. And once we repair your home, we stand behind it with a transferable life of the home warranty. So the next family who lives there will also enjoy the same peace of mind. So if you have foundation problems, learn more at woodsbasementsystems.com. That's woodsbasementsystems.com. Or call 800-388-9326 for a free estimate. That's 800-388-9326. Woods Basement Systems, because foundation problems don't get better with time, they get better with us. All things basementing experts.
We are Woods, we fix basements for your peace of mind.
That's woodsbasementsystems.com.
Beck and Lennox Estate Planning and Elder Law is committed to serving anybody who is in need of their services right now who has never had an estate plan done. How about a free consultation for you? How about a free phone call with the experts when it comes to estate planning to help get you set up and squared away? 636-946-7899. That's 636-946-7899. You can reach out to them, tell them you heard about them on the Annie Frey Show, tell them that you don't have any estate planning done, or let me throw in here too, if you haven't had your estate plan looked at in the last 3 years, there's certainly situations that can change, laws can change. Rudy Beck, Jay Lennox, Carolyn Diker, all the folks at Beck and Lennox, they understand exactly how to make sure that you are in compliance and maximizing your assets and your access to what the law currently is. Reach out to them at 636-946-7899 to schedule that free consultation right now. Mention the Annie Frey Show when you call. BeckElderlaw.com.
Hey guys, Glover here from my friends at ARCA, Assisted Recovery Centers of America. So alcohol and opioid addiction is a huge problem in America, as you know. And with the coronavirus, it's become even worse. Just know that there is help right here in our community. Call ARCA at 314-645-6840 or visit arcamidwest.com. Everything is professional, everything is compassionate, and everything is private. That's arcamidwest.com for help.
Lombardo Homes understands we are working through unprecedented times. The safety of our customers and our team members is our top priority. Lombardo Homes displays and communities are open with added safety measures for your comfort. Team members are available for personalized appointments and video tours. Floor plan virtual tours are also available. Talk to a sales manager to learn about the advantages of building a new home now. For more information, visit our website at lombardohomes.com.
Now is the perfect time to learn how to play the piano. Hi, this is Kathy from Lacefield Music. Lacefield Music's innovative 8-week adult piano classes will teach you how to read music, play with both hands the very first week, and after only 8 weeks, you'll be able to play all your favorite songs. We don't know of another program that can promise this. Plus, did you know that playing the piano reduces stress, depression, and with the Lacefield Music Piano course, it's fun. There aren't many things that you can do right now that's fun and social. Masks are required, our classrooms are socially distanced, and everything is sanitized before every class. We will keep you safe. This course usually costs $100, but twice a year we offer it for the low price of only $29.99 for all 8 classes. Classes are forming now for both our South County and Chesterfield Valley locations. Only $29.99 for all 8 weeks. Go online to sign up at lacefieldmusic.com or call 314-845-3760. That's 314-845-3760.
If it's happening here. In the world, the country, and the community. St. Louis's own 97.1 FM Talk.
Action is made. Age 14, they got you down on your knees. So polite, we're busy still saying please.
Joe Biden should not concede under any circumstances because I think this is going to drag out, and eventually I do believe he will win if we don't give an inch.
We don't give an inch. What? This is not what it felt like she was going to say there. My goodness. What's with the beat?
I don't know, but they put something sassy behind that remark. And I'm like, I thought everybody hated Donald Trump for something similar to that remark, but I guess
she doesn't come across as relatable. She makes me want to send myself to my room just so that I can get away. You know, like I just think, and you're thinking, lady, I would be bitter if I were you. If I won the popular vote, but I didn't win the presidency because, you know, Constitution and stuff, I would be upset. I would be bitter, and I would carry that with me. But maybe figure out a way to contribute to something better in the future than just looking angry and bitter all the time. Like really angry and really bitter all the time. The Constitution is the Constitution, folks. This is how it works.
Every time I hear her speak, especially in clips like that, I just think, I'm with her. I'm with her.
Yeah, but not enough of you were. Tim Jones, somebody else who is with... Is Tim Jones with her? We should ask him. Let's ask him right now.
Another great night for Donald Trump.
No collusion, no obstruction.
This is Armageddon.
You know, I brought you Outlander.
Brought to you by Arrowhead Building Supply.
You know, Tim, Hillary says under no circumstances should Joe Biden concede. I guess that's the Hillary Clinton philosophy, because I don't really feel like she has yet conceded, and it is 2020 at this point in time. What's your take on Hillary's bitterness?
Boy, talk about dragged out there, Annie. She's been dragged out for about 4 years. She needs to be put away somewhere. Every time I see her, she's looking worse and worse. I'm sorry. Yeah, I am going to be mean to Hillary Clinton because she's a despicable human being at this point. You know, what a horrible woman, right? I mean,
go on.
She needs to be put away.
I like you put
send all your hate,
know?
send all your hate mail. Send all your hate mail to me. I mean, come on, who isn't tired of Hillary Clinton? Look, the Democrats are tired of Hillary Clinton. Every time I'm on some show or in some conversation with former Senator Jeff Smith, you know, from St. Louis, he's done with Hillary Clinton. And, you know, you can't find a more lovable liberal than Jeff Smith. You know, I mean, Keith Antone, another one. I mean, they're done with her. They've had it. She's an angry, elitist person. They put up with her 4 years ago. But I'll tell you, there's nobody that likes Hillary Clinton, right? Now, Donald Trump, he's big, he's bombastic, he's over the top. But my God, wouldn't he be fun at a party? I mean, who would want Hillary Clinton to hang out with you on a Friday night, you know, or crack a beer open with? But you know, the Trumpster would be a heck of a good time. You know, I mean, you'd have stories for years. So I love that they keep bringing her out and they keep giving her speaking opportunities. I think we need to hear lots more of Hillary Clinton over the next 60 days.
Yeah, Tim, it's funny you said it. You know, she's actually pretty irrelevant. I don't think the Democratic Party, you know, they invited Bill to speak. They didn't invite her. Oh, yes, they did. She did speak, but she's not leading the party anymore like she once was. And yet she's making these comments. Does it make you think that maybe she's less worried about Donald Trump and more worried about Bill Barr?
Well, I think there's that. And I think there's also, you hit the nail on the head there, Ryan, with the irrelevancy comment. I mean, between her and her husband, the former president, have you ever seen two more irrelevant people? And I'm talking in their party, right? Definitely irrelevant for America. But how in the world are the Clintons relevant for their party at this point? You look at Bill Clinton, and his policies were not this party's policies. This DNC 2020. Bill Clinton was the guy who talked about welfare to work, right? Who talked about abortions being safe and rare, who talked about the superiority of America on the global stage. I mean, Bill Clinton would be a moderate Republican in today's world. So, hey, sorry about all the noise. Guess what? I'm in this thing called an airport. It's really weird.
Oh, you feel safe?
I'm about to get on an airplane. Yeah. So, Andy, I'm down in Jacksonville, Florida. I was supposed to be here for the convention this week, but the Republican Attorney General's group, I heard you just talking about Daniel Cameron. They had their meeting. They went ahead and had their summer conference. They were going to do it on the front end of the convention. When the convention got canceled, the Jacksonville part, the big, you know, pomp and circumstance part, which I agree with you. They're doing an excellent job with this incredibly well-produced imagery, which means things. Unlike the Democratic convention, it means things because it's real people with real stories. But we had the AG's conference. I was really glad they still had it. They were as well. And I missed Daniel Cameron because he probably had to get up to Charlotte. I got in a little late, but I do know him well. We did in my day job at First Rule. We did help him in his election bid 2 years ago. He is the future of the Republican Party, and not only him, but all the people you've been talking about. Representative Vernon Jones, the Democrat become Trump supporter down in Georgia. The Cuban immigrant that you were talking about, the speech he gave. All the different faces, right, with real stories. I love how with every single one of these people of color or of different background than just old white males that speak at the RNC 2020, it is making the left light their hair on fire, because their only response that I've seen has been, well, those can't be real people. And then you say, well, no, they're actually real human beings. Well, those can't be real stories. You know, as if they're accusing these people of lying, as if they're brainwashed or something, or they're not doing this of their own free will. They can't stand this convention because they didn't think it was possible for Donald Trump to have a bright, hopeful, forward-looking, positive message for all Americans. This completely destroys the narrative of the left and the liberal media in this country. And Daniel Cameron, the first black attorney general of Kentucky as a Republican, never been a Democratic black AG in Kentucky. That is one of many, many examples across the nation of people that are choosing the party that's always stood for individual freedom, liberty, and opportunity.
We're gonna play after the upcoming break here. We're gonna play the full 6-minute speech from Daniel Cameron, but I want you to get people kind of hyped up to what he said about what he said last night, because he spoke directly to Joe Biden. When you see it, this 34-year-old young man speaking on these very important issues, talking about how he started out working in a coffee shop and how everybody needs a cup of coffee. It was very relatable to listen to his message and to understand where he came from and how he got to the place where he is right now. What do you think that the Republican Party has in the future here with Daniel Cameron?
I think the sky's the limit for Daniel Cameron, just like the sky's the limit for anybody who's in the Republican Party. Tim Scott, the senator from the first black Republican senator, a U.S. senator from South Carolina, who I've also gotten to meet on a few occasions. He's another example of that. And I loved his line the other night where he said, our family went from the cotton fields to the halls of Congress in one generation. I heard that. I got goosebumps because you know what? Maybe all of us don't have the experience of a Tim Scott, but many of us do have the experience of being in families where, a generation ago, we weren't wealthy, or we didn't have so much opportunity, or our parents were blue collar workers. I've had that experience in my family. My father was born dirt poor in a farm in Southwest Missouri that they had no running water. Yeah, the Joneses had outhouses, and my mom came from a family where they were Italian immigrants. My mom was first generation. My grandfather came over, and with his father, my great grandfather, in the late 1800s and the early 1900s, had nothing to their name, barely had the clothes on their backs and the bag in their hands. That was about it. So everybody can relate and identify. We're not a nation that came from kings and queens and landed gentry. You don't have to go back too far. Even those of us who have, even people who do have some wealth in this country, nobody has to go back too far to say, I came from this, that, or the other thing, and it wasn't a whole lot. And so we can relate to these stories of Daniel Cameron and Tim Scott and Karen Klacik, who's the black female running for Congress from the urban rough streets of Baltimore. The McCloskeys, all right? The McCloskeys were on this week. That was a big talk down here, the AG's conference. Everybody's like, oh, you're from where the McCloskeys are, And yes, they're uber wealthy and rich right now, but they were talking about something, the Second Amendment, that applies to all Americans, and is very important to many. And so whatever your issue du jour is, I think you're finding it in this week's RNC. That's the message that I see, is that whatever it may be, you're going, yeah, that's why I vote Republican, or yeah, that's why I'm going to support Donald Trump. Because there is something for everyone. Whereas it seemed that the DNC's message, which has been exacerbated in these last few days, is, well, we're just scared to death. And, if we have to lock the country down again, well, that's just what we have to do. I think Americans are going, whoa, no way. No go there, Joe, right? I mean, that was the worst thing for Joe Biden to say following the convention. He may have gotten a brief bump last week. I'll bet you that's completely erased, and that Donald Trump is going to come roaring out of this convention with a big surge in his poll numbers.
Well, I sure hope so. Tim Jones, Speaker Tim Jones on Twitter, and Sunday nights 7 to 9 right here on 97.1. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Safe travels to you. Hope you get a good flight home.
We sure will. Hey, thanks, Annie. Thanks, gang.
We'll talk to you soon. Listen into the Tim Jones show, like I said, Sunday evenings, and you'll get more of that. He has great guests on, a lot of great connections, very interesting stuff. Let's talk when we come back about the bench for the Democrat Party and the Republican Party. I think there's a stark difference. So we'll discuss that when we come back. And I'm also going to play for you the Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron's speech from last night. Katie, did you get a chance to listen to the whole thing?
I did.
What'd you think?
So good.
Ryan, did
just
you hear
clips. I did
clips?
like what I heard, though, a lot.
Well, I think the context of the whole thing together is pretty awesome.
Okay.
So we'll have that and the reaction, the depth of each party. Is it a long future, good storied future for either one or the other? We'll discuss that in just a minute. Join us on our Facebook Live, Annie Frey YouTube Live, and streaming on Periscope at Annie Frey Show. We'll be right back.
We got you down on your knees. So polite, we're busy still saying please.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show.
No miss, but when you're down, ain't your friend. Every night, I smash a Mercedes-Benz. First we run, and then we laugh till we cry. But when the night is over,
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Get in your comfort zone with a free trip and diagnostic with any service repair. That's a $94 savings with any HVAC service repair. For all things heating and cooling, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friends at Window World. Congratulations to the guys. They have the highest rating possible with the Better Business Bureau. Only one of 2 window replacement companies in the country that have the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. They have the lowest prices. They have the best possible terms. They have replacement windows that are just built like tanks. One of their little deals that they do, of course, they always bring it out to your home or place of business so you can see and feel the window. They encourage you to stand on them just to prove how great and durable that they are. They have the best guarantee and warranty in the business. If anything goes wrong, they replace it, no questions asked. Call them at 314-993-1800 or visit windowworld.com. 314-993-1800 or visit windowworld.com. 314-993-1800, windowworld.com.
ForensicIT.com is the website. If you are looking for a company that can help you with on-site and or remote support, tech support, I want you to call 314-677-3950. This is a great company, sponsors the Annie Frey Show, and we are grateful for them and grateful to be able to connect you with them so you can have somebody you can rely on for these kinds of things. They specialize in manufacturing support, system patching, antivirus updates, backups, disaster recovery solutions, new system installations, and proactive maintenance. Forensic IT works to maximize your system uptime and discover root cause solutions to your technical problems. When something goes down, you probably look towards maybe the youngest employee that you have or the one who does the things on the computers. Well, if you've got something really serious at stake, like the security of the information in your company, you need somebody who you can rely on, and you need someone fast, and you need to know that they're going to get to the very bottom of the problem to make sure that it doesn't happen again. That's Forensic IT, 314-677-3950, ForensicIT.com.
What's holding you back from solving your tax problems? If it's cost, know that the longer you wait, the more expensive it'll be. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm in St. Louis. Tax resolution doesn't have to be expensive, and waiting year after year to resolve your tax problems can be extremely costly. Interest and penalties on your tax bill won't stop until you take control. So take the first step now and hire a tax resolution attorney to help you. Call me, Lance Drury. I'll tell you in advance an affordable fee which includes costs and expenses that works for your business and family. Your first visit to the Lance Drury Law Firm is free and confidential, so you have nothing to lose. But the longer you wait, the more interest and penalties you'll pay. Call me today. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. You need an attorney. You need us, the Lance Drury Law Firm. Call me, Lance Drury, at 314-260-6120 or go to Lance, DRURY law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, healthcare, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
The Dave Glover Show.
Honestly, I can't remember the last time on anyone but Fox I heard them say something actually positive. I can't. It doesn't happen.
Weekdays at 3 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Dirty South, Can y'all really feel me? Feel us. East Coast, feel me. Feel us. West Coast, feel me. Say what? Dirty South, here we go. Can y'all really feel me? Baby girl. East Coast, feel me. West Coast, feel me. Can you feel us? Dirty South.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you being here. There's like 8 million different ways that you can take in the show. Definitely appreciate it when you listen to us at 97.1 FM on your radio dial. So I was asking the question before we went to a break, and I'm interested in what y'all think about it. So come on the Facebook Live, the Annie Frey Show Facebook Live, and comment there and let us know what you think about how deep the bench is for each party. Here's my take. When you're looking at the people who were presented here in the Republican National Convention or the RNC Convention, I know that I'm more familiar with the depth of the Republican Party. So this is by no means an objective analysis. There's a little bit of home field advantage here, for sure. But I'm looking at the way that the Republican Party has evolved under Donald Trump. It is more diverse. It is more female. And it is younger, which is the antithesis of the John McCain, Mitt Romney failure of a Republican Party that tried previously. Donald Trump has changed the Republican Party in a very impactful way. And I'm seeing it from the likes of like this Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron, which I'm going to play for you here in just a second. The future looks really bright. I look at the Democratic Party and I know that there are a lot of up and comers, but the policies of what the Democrats' youth, like their platforms, what is in control right now versus the future are drastically different. So much so, I thought I saw like 1,000 people voted against the Democratic platform this year.
Oh my God.
1,000. I mean, I'll get the story up and cite the actual article that I read, but there is a huge divide. And they're undergoing some sort of, remaking of their party. This is a natural occurrence, but I don't know that the future of the Democratic Party resembles anything that the current Democratic Party is. I think it's being yanked heavily to the left. And the best that the Democratic Party has to offer right now is Joe Biden. That doesn't look like a deep bench to me. The Republican Party, obviously, Trump, they're not going to be looking for a different nominee, much to Jeff Flake's chagrin. There are a lot of people, you see Nikki Haley and everyone's like, Nikki Haley, the next president. And you're like, oh, but there's Tim Scott. And then you look at Daniel Cameron and you're like, he could be the president in 10 years for sure. And it goes on down the line. And everyone's saying, the next president could be one of the Trump kids. Please, can we not do the dynasty thing?
Please.
I don't, it's not even about them and their ability to do it. Next family, please. That's the way I feel about it. Ryan, what do you think? The depth of each party?
Well, I'm looking at some of the biggest names from the DNC, and you're right. There's a home field advantage. I don't know as many of the sort of smaller names, but I mean, Hillary Clinton, Elizabeth Warren, Nancy Pelosi, Barack Obama, those people aren't going to be your next president. Pete Buttigieg, I guess, Cory Booker could be on that list, but it's pretty thin. Gabrielle Giffords.
Those are all people who are already like really at high level positions as well. I guess it's got to be AOC. They're the ones.
She's the youngest one.
Yeah, they're the ones who are leading.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty. Again, there's a long list, just like there is with the RNC, of people who you may not be as familiar with. So any one of those people, maybe they pop up and all of a sudden they're the next Barack Obama. But the list just doesn't look like there are as many people who are waiting in the wings as it does in the RNC.
Yeah. What about you, Katie?
I think the stark difference between these two groups right now is heavily establishment and heavily non-establishment people. I think that the Republican Party has worked on and really spoken to people that are businessmen, businesswomen, that have a different background that isn't just I've been in politics for the last 20 years. And so that's very appealing. That's very appealing. And it also speaks to people that feel like they might not have the chops or they might not be articulate in that kind of field, but they really, really want to make a change in this country. And so I think it's provoking this idea that, like, hey, if you want to make a change, you can try to be a congresswoman, or you can try to be the next president of the United States. It's very, very hopeful against maybe more of establishment government, Joe Biden.
You said a word that really does put this in the proper context, I think, and that's establishment, because the Republican Party was forced to remake itself after the 2012 loss with Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney seemed like a shoo-in. Like I said, he's a conveyor belt Republican at the time. He's exactly what you think that you want to have until you start digging in and realizing that once you win the election, then the wheeling and dealing begins and the compromising begins. But it felt like the Republicans compromise on all of the worst possible things. The Republicans were faced in 2008 and then again in 2012 with the necessity to remake themselves because what they were doing was not working. I really, really believe that the Biden-Kamala ticket is a very comparative ticket to the McCain-Palin ticket. It's like it should work. There's a lot to offer here on the surface, but when you dig in deep, it doesn't motivate people enough to get out and vote against the very charismatic opponent. And Barack Obama is certainly charismatic and Donald Trump is certainly charismatic, and they both have a lot of star power and a lot of oomph that causes you to really, push forward into it. I got to get into this interview or this speech last night with the Kentucky Attorney General. Katie, if I go a little long, give me an extra minute here. Listen to this. 34-year-old Black Attorney General, first Black Attorney General in Kentucky.
Good evening.
Nailed it last night.
My name is Daniel Cameron. I'm 34 years old and the first African-American Attorney General in Kentucky history. It is an honor to be with you as a proud Republican and supporter of Donald J. Trump. I was raised in Kentucky, just a few miles from Abraham Lincoln's birthplace. Our first Republican president believed in compassion, self-reliance, freedom, equality, and justice. Sadly, there are some who don't believe in this wisdom or in the better angels of our shared American history as they tear down the statues of people like Ulysses S. Grant, Frederick Douglass, and even Mr. Lincoln himself. Lincoln said, "Any nation that does not honor its heroes will not long endure." And for Republicans, our heroes are those who propelled an imperfect nation ever forward, always striving to make life better for everyone. Even as anarchists mindlessly tear up American cities while attacking police and innocent bystanders, we Republicans do recognize those who work in good faith towards peace, justice, and equality. In fact, it was General Dwight Eisenhower, a future Republican president, who said, "Democracy is a system that recognizes the equality of humans before the law." Whether you are the family of Breonna Taylor or David Dorn, these are the ideals that will heal our nation's wounds. Republicans will never turn a blind eye to unjust acts, but neither will we accept an all-out assault on Western civilization. My values were shaped by my faith and by my parents. I worked at their small coffee shop, meeting people from all walks of life. And I realized something. No matter who we are, everyone needs a cup of coffee. That lesson stuck with me because despite our differences, we all want the same things. For our children to have more opportunities than we did, to feel the dignity of work, and to believe that if you play by the rules, you can make a good life for yourself and your family. So the question is, will we choose the path that gives us the best chance to meet those universal desires? Or will we go backward to a time when people were treated like political commodities who can't be trusted to think for themselves? I think often about my ancestors who struggled for freedom And as I think of those giants and their broad shoulders, I also think about Joe Biden, who says, if you aren't voting for me, you ain't black, who argued that Republicans would put us back in chains, who says there is no diversity of thought in the black community. Mr. Vice President, look at me. I am black. We are not all the same, sir. I am not in chains. My mind is my own. And you can't tell me how to vote because of the color of my skin. Joe Biden is a backwards thinker in a world that is craving forward-looking leadership. There's no wisdom in his record or plan, just a trail of discredited ideas and offensive statements. Joe Biden would destroy jobs, raise our taxes, and throw away the lives of countless unborn children. And he is captive to the radical left, a movement committed to cancel culture and the destruction of public discourse. They believe your skin color must dictate your politics. And if you fail to conform while exercising your God-given right to speak and think freely, they will cut you down. Politics of identity, cancellation, and mob rule are not acceptable to me. Republicans trust you to think for yourself and to pursue your American dream however you see fit. Mr. Lincoln said the dogmas of the quiet past are inadequate to the stormy present. The occasion is piled high with difficulty, and we must rise to the occasion. I believe Donald Trump can meet Lincoln's mandate, even as Joe Biden remains trapped by his own failed record and by the radicals who dominate his party. Let's be honest, no one is excited about Joe Biden. And so I ask you to judge the record. On criminal justice reform, Joe Biden couldn't do it, but President Trump did. On the economy, Joe Biden couldn't do it, but President Trump did build an economy that worked for everyone, especially minorities, and he will do it again. And on immigration, Joe Biden promises more to illegal immigrants than he does to you. But President Trump believes his highest duty is to the American worker. The choice is clear. Let me close with something my mom told me. This country's many faces comprise a family, not separate parts to be divided against each other. And like any family, we care for one another. We grieve together. We share our burdens and our struggles, and we celebrate our successes. And though we fuss and fight, we are not enemies. We are Americans, united by a collective faith in our Constitution and laws and the fundamental fairness they represent. We are defenders of life and of individual liberty, and we carry the mantle of Eisenhower and of Reagan to be a force for good in this world, and one that must always be reckoned with. That's my Republican Party, the party of Lincoln, that believes America is an indispensable nation, an evergreen tree, standing tall in a turbulent world. And that's why I am voting for Donald Trump for president.
Make sure you know
Thank
that
you,
name.
and God bless.
That's the Kentucky Attorney General, Daniel Cameron, giving a really amazing speech last night. And when you watch the speech, if you enjoyed it, make sure you go and watch it. We'll put it up on our website, 971talk.com/Annie, because this guy is so relatable. And when you watch him, he makes you smile. And his delivery and his voice and his message, so spot on, made me feel very comfortable that the future of the Republican Party is in some very, very good, adequate hands. We're going to take a quick break. Bryce Hill is going to join us when we return with Illinois Policy Institute. We're going to talk about some of the corruption taking place in the state of Illinois. Did you know there's corruption in Illinois, Ryan? This is brand new information. Breaking.
I'm hearing it for the first time right now.
All right, stick around.
I'm Stephen Lynch, General Sales Manager at Volvo Cars West County. If you've been waiting on buying your new Volvo, don't wait any longer. The 2021 models are rolling in, and we need to move the 2020s. While they last, save up to $14,000 off MSRP. Lease payments on the stylish 2020 S60 T5 Momentum sedan, only $329 a month. The sporty XC40 T4 Momentum, $339 a month. And the popular XC60 T6 all-wheel drive Momentum, only $439 a month. Volvo Cars West County, always a wide selection to choose from and superior service you have come to expect. And now lease payments starting at $329 a month. Visit Volvo Cars West County on Manchester Road, 4 miles west of 270, or online at wcvolvocars.com. You can be assured the safety and health of our customers is top priority. 2488 Do It signing. Go to wcvolvocars.com/specials for details with approved credit. Offer expired.
KFTK FM Florissant, K254CR St. Louis, driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk, a radio.com station.
A Category 4 hurricane heading straight for the Gulf Coast. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Laura could make landfall overnight near the Texas-Louisiana border, but the threat from the high winds and all the water covers hundreds of miles. Fox's Evan Brown is tracking it live.
Yeah, Lisa, the scary part of this storm will be the storm surge, the rushing seawater, which could be as high as 15 feet by the coast, but will rush far inland. And there will be areas of Louisiana that know how bad that gets. Governor John Bell Edwards.
And if we're going to have that kind of flooding along I-10, then you know the areas between the coast and I-10 are at tremendous risk.
Interstate 10 runs parallel to the coastline, usually a mile or so away from it. Storm surge warnings are up from west of Galveston, Texas to east of Biloxi, Mississippi, Lisa.
Thanks, Eben. An underage suspect now in custody after fatal shootings during a third night of riots in Wisconsin, where Fox's Jeff Manasso is live.
Lisa, police confirmed the arrest of a juvenile in the shooting deaths of 2 rioters Tuesday night who appeared on video attacking the teen who was reportedly protecting a business. This as President Trump says that federal law enforcement is now en route to Wisconsin to assist the National Guard.
We are not planning on letting this violence continue. We are going to work together to resolve the racial issues in our community, and we are going to make that work.
Kenosha Mayor John Antaramian and the investigation into last night's shootings and into the police shooting of Jacob Blake continue amid citywide destruction. Here, Lisa.
Thanks, Jeff. Nearly 3 months of nightly protests and violence continue in Portland, Oregon, where windows were smashed at City Hall last night. Demonstrators also throwing bottles and eggs at police who made over 20 arrests as that crowd was dispersed. America is listening to Fox News.
I'm giving Jeb's basement renovations 1 star. He kept asking me what's behind the walls down there. I'm like, why? What do you know?
No matter how hard you work for your small business, online reviewers will find something to complain about.
And then he's like, you can trust me with the job. And I'm all like, trust?
And while Progressive can't save you from these trolls, we can help you save money on commercial, auto, and business insurance.
Yeah, he charged me less than he said he would, which is lying.
Get a quote online today at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliated and third-party insurers.
So who is your wireless provider? AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile? The average person is saving $400 a year by switching to Pure Talk USA. Pure Talk is on the same network, same towers, just 50% off in terms of price. Right now, get unlimited talk, text, and 2 gigs of data for just $20 a month. Switch to Pure Talk today. Now, from your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say Pure Radio. That's pound 250, Pure Radio, Pure Talk USA, simply smarter wireless.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
On this Wednesday afternoon, partly to mostly sunny skies. It's hot. It's very humid. 95 for the high. Tonight, partly cloudy, steamy, 75 for the overnight low. Thursday, it's all about the clouds coming up from the south, from the Hurricane Laura down in the Gulf of Mexico. Very humid, a real tropical feel with developing showers and a couple of thunderstorms going through the afternoon, especially south of St. Louis. 92 for the high. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It's open enrollment season, and MediShare is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry that saves most families about $500 a month. Google MediShare and see if it's a right fit for you. And check out the podcast from the Associated Press, Ground Game, hosted by AP's digital editor, Megan Crane.
So at Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance, you're never going to have your claim denied because of lack of maintenance, because they are doing the maintaining for you. They're going to send workers out to your house 4 times a year to make sure everything's working properly. And the best part is Upkeep uses their own W-2 employees. A lot of their competition uses subcontractors, which means it takes longer to get someone out to your house if there's an issue. At Upkeep, they just bypass all of that and they treat their people great. Plus, you're going to be working with your home manager. This is your point person to help you through every step of the process. Most home warranty companies, you're going to call in, get a call center, talk to 5 or 6 different people over the course of a claim. Not at Upkeep. They have your one guy or gal that's going to help you out with everything, streamlining the process and making it super easy on you. To learn more, visit their website, upkeepstl.com. If you use the code DGS, you get $100 off your service. upkeepstl.com.
It's one thing to be stuck in your house due to COVID-19. It's another thing to be stuck with a house. We have good news for homeowners listening throughout St. Louis. Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis is still buying houses. More importantly, we offer sellers a completely virtual selling process that maintains social distancing standards. Sell your home now. Call Chris today and get a cash offer in just 7 minutes. Call 314-782-7000. Can't collect rent? Not a problem. We buy My Tenant Won't Pay Me the Rent houses as well as vacant houses. We buy houses as is and deal with any situation. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call Chris today and get your house sold. 314-782-7000. That's 314-782-7000. 314-782-7000.
nationalrarities.com. You need to go check out this website. Super fun website. With all of the time that we've had at home over the last several months, you've probably been cleaning out some of your old drawers. I know a lot of you have old jewelry, old watches laying around, maybe some collectibles, maybe some stuff that you've inherited over the course of time and generations that is valuable, but maybe not important to you, that intrinsic value. I want you to reach out to nationalrarities.com and see how they can help you. National Rarities works all over the country, but they're based right here in St. Louis. And if you've got that kind of stuff collecting dust around the house and it doesn't have any personal meaning to you, take it to National Rarities and see what it's worth. Things like firearms, artwork, painting, autographs, antique toys, diamonds, jewelry, watches, gold, platinum, silver. They can take it all and give you a good value for it. You can trust them, an A+ rating with the BBB, and they are GIA certified buyers, so you can be confident you're working with a trustworthy company full of experts. Reach out to them at 888-787-1112. That's 888-787-1112, online at nationalrarities.com.
Hey guys, Glover here from my very good friends at ThrottleNet. So if you ever listen to one of these recorded ads, listen to this one. A company can expect 232 targeted cyber attacks per year that results in 30 breaches. 24% of businesses hit with malware took a week or more to regain access to their data. Many businesses just flat go under. They are targeting small towns. They are targeting dentist offices. They are targeting big businesses. They're targeting government. You're going to get hit. Let me tell you about ThrottleNet. ThrottleNet has saved their clients more than $2.6 million in ransom last year alone. And get this. ThrottleNet clients have never paid a dime in ransomware. Let me say that again. They've never paid a dime because they are protected. No contracts. Leave anytime you want. You have to check these guys out. You'll find them at throttlenet.com to protect your business, to protect everything you have. Go to throttlenet.com.
Curtis and the whole staff at Complete Auto Body and Repair want to thank everyone for using them for their services. They are the leaders in the industry and always strive to be the best, so they now offer no-contact touchless auto repair. That means when you drop your keys off, they will sanitize your keys and fob. Technicians will sanitize before and after service. In addition, all repair authorizations will be done digitally after service. Your safety is the utmost importance to them as they sanitize their shops several times a day. They will even give you complimentary pickup and delivery via their towing partner, A2B Towing, and $150 off all hail repairs. To put it simply, they offer the complete experience. There are a wide variety of companies that can take care of your car and claim to go the extra mile, but how many of them follow through after you hand them your keys? This is where they show you Complete's mission. They are a family and will serve you as if you were one of their own. With 5 convenient locations, others can't compete with Complete. CompleteAV.com.
This is where St. Louis comes to talk. 97.1 FM Talk. Join the conversation digitally. Download the radio.com app so you can live stream from anywhere. The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Forensic IT, the tech experts that find the root cause of your technical problems. ForensicIT.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Happy Wednesday. We're halfway through, folks. This is like the very middle of your week. Right now, right here it is. Congratulations, you made it. The rest is downhill, I hope. If you're watching on Facebook, you might have the same question Carlo has, which is, why is Wiggins giving me a Blues Clues vibe? I'm not sure if that's just your general contribution to the show today, Ryan, or your appearance. I don't know if you want to comment on that. Do you channeling the Blues Clues today?
I don't understand why he would say that.
It's your shirt.
Oh, is that what
It's
it
your
is?
shirt.
No, every time this shirt must be the weirdest shirt in the world because
It's
every
just
time I wear it,
blue striped shirt.
so yeah, it's just a blue. It's blue and then
People are
blue,
nitpicking.
dark blue, light blue, and it's striped. And every time I wear it, not only do I get comments on the radio, I get comments in real life, like when I'm in the store and stuff. So I gotta stop wearing the shirt.
Let me ask either of you real quick before we get to our guest. If people find out that you're associated with the show, are there any like common questions that most people ask about the show? Or is there a consistency in what people say when they hear you're associated with a news talk show, or specifically this one? Like the one thing that I get is all the time is, how do you prepare for that?
Mm-hmm.
And the answer is, I'm always preparing. I'm never off, which is why when I do take off, I take off to take off. But that's something I get regularly. Is there anything you guys get consistently?
Yeah, I get that question too. Like, how do you do 3 hours a day of talking? What in the world would you talk about? And I'm like, I don't know. We just
Have
do
you
it.
watched the news?
Yeah,
That's the
yeah, that's
biggest
true.
thing. Yeah, it's like, what
but
do you guys talk about?
The main thing, in fact, my neighbors just found out I was on the show the other day, and they are
Hi,
listening.
neighbors.
And they
Hi,
moved.
neighbors.
Oh,
No, they love it. They love it. And they said
Ryan Wiggins.
the first thing they said was, "Man, Illinois is in bad shape, isn't it?"
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I've had people say, I've been thinking about moving to Illinois, but Annie, you make it sound so terrible. And I'm like, well, no. Like I'm staying here. I'm fighting for it. It's worth fighting for. I think that, especially had some friends recently move to the Illinois side of the river who shocked me when they said that they were doing it. They got an amazing piece of land with an amazing house on it. And that, they had to weigh out the property taxes versus the amount of house that they could afford that went along with the property taxes. And it turns out you can afford a lot more house over here. And I thought, I'm kind of glad you brought that up, because it made me realize that I need to make a distinction about the tax burden that Illinois has over here. The question is, what are you getting for your money? You can spend a lot of money on taxes and decide that it's a worthwhile thing. You can spend nothing on taxes and be like, gosh, I wish that they would make these roads so that they wouldn't jack my car up on them every time I drive somewhere. There's got to be a happy medium somewhere in between being taxed too much and being taxed too little, and getting what you need for your tax investment, or not getting anything. And the hugest, most massive problem facing the state of Illinois' economy right now is the pension problem. We have a massive amount of pension debt that is unfunded, with enormous skyrocketing taxes all across the state. And we're not even actually addressing the very thing that's causing our economy to be a disaster. That's the problem here. So if you've got high taxes, are you getting your bang for your buck? And I say in the state of Illinois, no, you're absolutely not. But if we got good policy in place, then I think that this is the heartland. I love my home. I do not want to move. I don't intend to move. Every time I talk about Illinois and the disaster that it is, people say, why don't you just move already? And, Ryan, it's home, right?
Yeah, it's a weird thing to say that when we talk about the state as a whole, there are huge issues, and most of them come from Chicago down through Springfield. But this area, like you just said, there are actual real financial benefits to living on the Illinois side of the river versus the Missouri side. So it's a weird mix when we talk about all these issues because they are all kind of intertwined.
Yeah, but ultimately, Illinois is a beautiful state, and it is a home worth fighting for. Just like Carlo said, Illinois is so worth fighting for. I agree with you, Carlo. Thanks for leaving us that comment on the Facebook Live chat. I want to get to our guest here. Bryce Hill joins us. He's a research analyst at the Illinois Policy Institute, and talking about what do you get for your dollar, your tax dollar that you spend. You've heard a lot about the corruption that has hit Illinois. I would say acknowledged. It's not like corruption just happened in Illinois. We're actually acknowledging it. Oh, because the feds did. Bryce, thanks for coming on the show today and talking to us a little bit about the implication to Illinois taxpayers who are funding a lot of the wake of what we're finding out here with this corruption scandal.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, first of all, Annie. And yeah, like you mentioned at the beginning of this segment, it is a question of priorities about where your government is spending your money. And all too often in Illinois, it's not like it's a new thing. It's just being talked about now because of some federal investigations. All too often, politicians and corporations are the ones that are doling out and receiving most of the money rather than things like public services. So at the Illinois Policy Institute, we actually asked the question, how much does corruption take away from the state's economy? And what we found out is that the state sees $556 million every single year disappear from the state because of corruption convictions. That's illegal activity by our public officials. And added up over the period of the past 20 years, we've lost $10.6 billion in economic activity solely due to corruption.
Bryce Hill is research analyst at Illinois Policy. Bryce, is there a hope right now that in Illinois, as Annie said, this has been going on for a long time, especially with Mike Madigan, it's been going on for my entire lifetime, that we're actually going to start to see some real reform and change? Or is this kind of like, well, let's hope, but it might just be a one-off thing?
Yeah, I think that now it's more likely than ever. So this is the first time, this is the closest any sort of investigation has ever come to Speaker Madigan, who has been the speaker for all but 2 years since 1983. He controls every single budget, every single bill that is passed out of Springfield. He gets to decide when it gets assigned to committee, when it gets assigned for a vote. And so he really has complete total control over his policies. And we've already seen 7 Democrats call publicly for the speaker to resign. Pritzker himself has said if this turns out to be true, he would like to see the speaker resign, which is a bit less of a high standard than he's had for other politicians. But I think now more than ever, we see that there's a very real chance that the man who's really at the heart of all this corruption and has really embedded himself in the system, in these machine politics, could really start to suffer, and we could see some real reforms. It's likely that during veto session in November, some ethics reforms are going to be brought up and debated and potentially passed. So I think Illinois should have real hope right now and should build off that momentum to call for Speaker Madigan to step down and to call for their lawmakers to enact some real ethics reforms.
Bryce, I want to ask you about the Lincoln Lobby. It's a Facebook group that has been put together by Illinois Policy. Give you an opportunity to talk just a bit about it and encourage people here from the Annie Frey Show audience that haven't already. I know that we've sent you quite a few folks down here, but tell us about the Lincoln Lobby and how that is an active group trying to give Illinois a better future.
Absolutely. So we have more than 20,000 Illinoisans who are fighting for the state and believe that this is a state worth staying in and saving. And we have tons of tools on there, not only educational tools, but notifications on when Illinoisans themselves can take action, how they can contact their lawmakers, how they can actually amplify their voice in Springfield when it feels like they haven't really had a community or had a way to voice their concerns to the people who are supposed to be representing them in Springfield. So I would encourage anybody who's interested to find that on Facebook, find that group, join the group, and stay up to date with not only everything that we're publishing, all the research, but also some very real opportunities to take action and to actually affect change in the state.
So much so, Bryce. That's the Lincoln Lobby on Facebook. Go join there. Mention the Annie Frey Show when you do. And please go to IllinoisPolicy.org to see the very good numbers-based statistical information Illinois Policy is putting together. I always appreciate what you guys do. Bryce, it's a pleasure to speak with you again. Hope you have a great week.
Thank you. Same to you.
Yep, you as well. I'm glad to see that they are putting numbers to this. And you know, Ryan, you and I kind of always have that same question. Like, is anything really going to happen here with Mike Madigan? Because, like, don't toy with me.
I know.
My head and my heart can't handle that.
Right. Because there's got to be such an incredible amount of change in Illinois that this is the first time that you go, oh, wait. Maybe this is where it starts, because this guy not only was corrupt, but he was controlling everything. And if he's taken down, we really could see things start to change.
And it's in the hands of the feds. It's not in the hands of Illinois, which is how, if you want to talk about how corruption breeds itself, it stays contained. And it appears as though it might not be contained right now.
His daughter was the attorney general. His daughter, Lisa Madigan, was the attorney general for a long time. Like, what's going to happen?
Yeah. That's how you do it. That's how you do it, folks. Yeah, stay connected. Go join the Lincoln Lobby, and please go join the Illinois Rising Facebook group that we have 8,000 people. And I'm going to tell you what, I have people contacting me throughout the state of Illinois, Chicagoans who are talking to me and telling me how extremely important you are to fixing the state of Illinois. They've almost put it on your shoulders because they know that northeastern corner of the state has created quite a burden financially, fiscally, from a corrupt standpoint. They need us. They need you. And they are reaching out to you to flex your muscles and be helpier. So this is the time where we need to speak up and step into the spotlight and advocate for a better Illinois. It doesn't have to be the reddest of the red states. That's never going to happen. But how do we get ourselves to a place where there is some common sense involved and some checks and balances? A supermajority of Democrats in the state house, a supermajority of Democrats in the Senate, the state Senate, and Governor Pritzker, who stays his entire time in Chicago, except for when he's going to his vacation homes in Wisconsin and Florida, while you're told you're not allowed to leave anywhere. We need to speak up, and we need to be heard. And if they're not hearing us, then we need to speak a little bit louder. And we're working on doing that in the Illinois Rising Facebook group as well. Go join it. Tip us over the 8,000 mark, and we will continue to get the attention of people across the state. Also tonight, I believe on our Facebook page, but also go check out the Illinois GOP page. We're going to see if we can stream it on mine as well. I'm going to be moderating a discussion between Representative Mike Bost, who very well could be your congressional representative here in Southern Illinois, and also Jeannie Ives, who is looking to take down Sean Casson, who is a freshman Democrat in the in Congress, in the U.S. House of Representatives. This would be a red seat flip, and Jeannie Ives is challenging him. And so they asked me to moderate this discussion. And I'm telling you what, folks, they asked me to moderate it because they want to reach you. You are the important person in this equation, right?
Facebook, by the way, just a quick update. I think it's about 40, maybe 39 people, and then the page crosses 13,000 likes. So if you're listening, you haven't liked it.
Come on, guys.
Might as well.
The Annie Frey
right?
Show Facebook page. Yeah,
Yes.
we'll get a count, an exact count. Let's see if we can maybe build it up a little bit here over the break. When we come back, we're gonna have a discussion about mask wearing. And it's not that discussion that everybody's having. We're going to talk about the different masks that people wear and what we think it says about them. So we're just going to stereotype people and psychoanalyze you based on what kind of masks you wear. So stick around. Let us know what you think here on our Facebook Live chat or on the Annie Frey YouTube chat. We'll be back in just a minute.
Non-committal, help you with your career, just a little. You're supposed to hold me down.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show.
That's the sound. I mean, not calling you back.
Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797.
So guys, Glover here. If you are nearing retirement or already retired, call Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. He'll show you how to participate in the market gains without ever losing a penny. Thomas is the official financial advisor of the DGS.
Our homes are where we feel the most happy, safe, and secure. So when we see cracks in the drywall, uneven floors, or other signs of foundation settlement, we want to make sure that it's repaired right and fixed forever. At Woods Basement Systems, we understand we're a family business that's been eliminating foundation worries since 1986. And once we repair your home, we stand behind it with a transferable life of the home warranty. So the next family who lives there will also enjoy the same peace of mind. So if you have foundation problems, learn more at woodsbasementsystems.com. That's woodsbasementsystems.com or call 800-388-9326 for a free estimate. That's 800-388-9326. Woods Basement Systems, because foundation problems don't get better with time, they get better with us. All things basementing experts.
We are Woods, we fix basements for your peace of mind.
That's woodsbasementsystems.com.
Listen up. If you wear glasses and are 36 to 45 years old, this week only, if you sign up at brentonvision.com/study, you may qualify to have LASIK and vision correction surgery virtually paid for by the sponsor of a clinical study. Sign up is this week only. Schedule an appointment at brentonvision.com/study. There are a limited number of spots for LASIK eye surgery virtually paid for by a sponsor, and patients from age 36 to 45 will be taken on a first-come, first-served basis this week only. Sign up ends Friday, August 28th. Go to brentonvision.com/study.
I'm listening daily, here to help end the stigma of talking about mental health. During these challenging times, listening is fundamental to promoting understanding and healing. Here's licensed therapist Dr. Christine Moutier on how mental health can change.
You know, we have this image that if a person is strong, is accomplished, or whatever your stereotype is, that somehow they'll be immune from a mental health problem, PTSD, or suicide. And the reality is that every single human being is exactly that. We're human, and we all have our physical health, and we all have our mental health. And health can change and can have sort of an ebb and flow to it over time. And we are all susceptible to those challenges, and can also, frankly, become really smart about what our strengths are and how we cope with what those kind of vulnerable trigger points for us are.
Let's end the stigma of talking about mental health. Find out more at imlistening.org.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. Mortgage interest rates are in the twos, and we are saving homeowners hundreds, even thousands of dollars a month with an easy refinance. We're also making it so that you can skip 2 full months of mortgage payments and get some cash out at closing. And if you're even thinking about buying a home, we can get you pre-approved the same day, and you can close on your new home in less than 30 days. TheHomeLoanExpert.com.
The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
2019 pricing. That means in just about everything you do, the price goes up a little bit the next year. Things cost more. This year, Darren at Rhino Shield is holding his prices to last year's levels because he knows people are dealing with different issues during this whole pandemic. If you were thinking about getting the outside of your house painted, don't. Get it Rhino Shield. Have a Rhino Shield put on the outside of it. This is this exterior ceramic coating. So don't wait. Get on the list now, right? Get it done while the getting is good, and you don't have to worry about the outside of your house or your business or your condo or your church. Go to 877-25rhino.com. Darren's got a lot of pictures, before and after pictures of the hundreds and hundreds of properties in the greater St. Louis area that he's gone out and put this outstanding product on. You'll be glad you did, and then you get a 25-year warranty. 877-25rhino or 877-25rhino.com.
Get a bird's eye view of your commute. Dependable traffic with Sue Thomas in the morning and afternoon. Driven by Ambassador Floor Company with 100% employee installation. Experience more with Ambassador Floor.
know what this means? It means we're going to the World Series.
Do you know what else this means? This is I didn't put this in here.
I didn't put this in here.
Then maybe I
Did Frank put music in today? Is he taking some creative liberties here?
He did put music in today, or it was either Frank or Carl.
I wonder if I like it. This is a song
This seems like a Carl thing.
We walked into my wedding reception. My husband and I did to the song.
Of course you did. The heat is on.
Do you know why? It's not why you think, Katie.
It isn't. It's not involving the Cardinals.
Okay, just as long as you. It's not. Yes.
It's
is
not involving the Cardinals.
It is. I just want to make sure you understood that.
Yes.
The way you sang "The Heat Is On" there made me think that maybe you were misled.
No, I've heard the story.
It was a little saucy.
Yeah, you know how I do.
Oh man.
She could say any saucy, any title of any song and make it sound like it was kind of like inappropriate.
Whoa! What? Not me.
Maybe that's why our ratings are so good.
Yeah.
If we get nervous, Katie, Ryan will write you some sentences for you to say, and you sing them like that. You can make up the melodies yourself.
Excellent.
Can we do that?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can.
Yeah. Why don't
Ryan,
you just
that's
start
right
with
in our
our private
wheelhouse.
chat, just saying things
No.
like call her on the line, but saying it like with some attitude.
With some say the most mundane, boring possible things you get.
I'll
Shelly
start
wants to
music
say.
at 58:10 to play Under You.
All right, I want to talk about mask wearing. I don't have any like article on this. I just find it interesting because when you go places now, everybody's wearing masks and people are making their own decisions. You know, so you can tell some people have committed to the mask game. I have disposable blue masks in my car, and I just bought some more when I was in Sam's today, I walked in and they had disposable kid-size masks, which is a necessity. My kids have masks, but if you lose one of the nice ones, then it's like it's a way bummer. So when you show up and you're like, oh, we gotta all go inside, or in my family, someone's like, I gotta pee, and so then you have to drop what you're doing, and you're like, I can't take you inside because your face is uncovered. You need to have those disposable masks in. So my family right now, we all have nicer looking material masks. People wear affinity masks. So you'll see people who will wear like sports teams or, favorite movie or Marvel or something like that, or whatever it might be. You have the disposable masks. You have the very fashionable ones. Like we have these that I have. My friend who I go to church with created these. Save the Girls is who makes them. They help support people with breast cancer. And they're scarfy. These are real fancy.
Mm-hmm.
I would wear these more if I ever looked fancy, which I don't ever look fancy now.
Mm-hmm.
Like fancy is out of my life right now. So my family's mask game is mostly disposable masks, which it seems as though the things that go over the ears, they pop out really easily. I guess you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Ryan, what's the Wiggins family protocol on choosing masks?
Well, we only wear our fancy ones like you, only when we're wearing our fur, which
yes.
we don't wear a ton of, so we don't have fancy masks.
Oh, you're about to set some people
I was
off.
ahead of the trend a little bit. I thought I had beat this whole thing because I had figured out the gator masks were so cool, and you can leave them around your neck, and then you can just walk into a place and pull them up. And now they're becoming to where you can't wear them into a lot of places because they're apparently not protective enough.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to do. I still am wearing them into Walmart, but I don't know that I could wear them into everywhere.
I think the disposable ones are roomier, which is probably bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think I breathe better through the gators, but so my kids are getting them because they're doing sports and stuff, and that's great. But then I hear that they don't work as well, and I'm like, well, I don't know what to do. And it's based on one study, so you don't know if it's legit, just like everything else.
But what percentage of people who are wearing masks right now and complying, which is the word that probably everybody hates, what percentage of them are doing that thinking that they're actually stopping the spread of the virus? And what percentage of them just need to get potatoes for dinner tonight? So you put a mask on because you're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
I think 90% of the people who are out there right now are just doing what they've been asked to do. It's not worth a fight to them. Wear the mask, get in, get out. in, up, fixed, out, or something like that, and you go about your life. It's not about like, well, I don't know if this will fit enough filters in it, and I don't know if this is going to actually stop the spread. It's just like, it's just what you do now.
Yeah,
Katie,
I hate to be so casual about it, but I think that phobia is gone. I think that phobia of like, is the mask stuck to my face and you can't get anything in it. I think that's gone. I have 10 cloth masks. I have so many masks, and I'm so happy about it because Tony Colombo was gracious enough to get me 4 masks. Then Kat did. Our people in the building have them. We have disposable masks here. I'm hooked up.
So in Missouri, when you go into a store, are you wearing a mask?
Yes. Yes,
you
I
are.
am.
Is everybody?
Yeah. I mean, at least in St. Louis County, yeah, everybody's wearing a mask.
In Illinois now, Pritzker has said that you need to wear them when you're in the drive-thru.
Oh,
That's new. I didn't know that one.
let's just add on another thing.
I would report this from the BND, but I can't read it because I've met my quota or something for the time being. Good grief. This is
We're
totally.
just talking about joining those things yesterday.
I said, well, I don't want to talk about that right now. It's too close to home.
I do have to say, I did travel to the Lake of the Ozarks recently, and
you go to the people
down there didn't go to the people. But the closer you get to the
Sounded like
Lake
you
of the
said
Ozarks,
peephole.
No, not the people.
Which sounds like an establishment of questionable repute.
It's in the back of the pizza
Not
place.
this time.
Pool.
We weren't talking about the peep hole. We were talking about the pee pool. It's totally different and way better and classier.
I don't know about classier, but
Ryan, would you rather go to the peep hole or the pee pool?
If you could define what the peephole was,
What about the pee pool at the peep hole?
I think you're double dipping there. I think you'd have to avoid that
Too
one no
many
matter what.
peas. Yeah, the closer we got to the Lake of the Ozarks and we stopped at gas stations and whatnot, people did not care. There were no signs hanging up saying in order to come into this
Peephole
facility.
did not care, or peepool did not care.
Both, if you can believe it.
People at the peep hole or the pee pool did not care.
Didn't care.
She sells.
It's a
seashells.
Dr. Seuss. It's a Dr. Seuss book now.
I just want to read an article.
Are you going through every device trying to find one that you haven't hit your max on yet?
Can't do the Tribune. Here we go. ABC 7, coronavirus, Illinois. New Illinois mask mandate for patrons, for restaurant patrons, takes effect as state reports 2157 new cases. This is not even in Southern Illinois.
Okay.
When you're at the table, I'm just going to tell you what I've read before.
Okay.
When you're at the restaurant and you're talking to the waiter, you have to wear your mask now. When you pull up to the drive-thru, you have to wear a mask now. Who's doing that? And what drive-thru worker is going to be like, I can't serve you?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're already giving your food to you in a bin.
Yeah, I always see the bin and I'm like, really? And then I think, well, I'm not really, there's no touching of the hands back and forth. I just think, okay, fine. Like there's so much. All right, fine. Okay.
I know.
how they get
Fondling
us.
that bin trying to get the stuff out of it. So I'm like, your bin's not clean. Unless you're going and cleaning that bin every time somebody puts their hands in there.
No,
it's
and they're
just as
touching
dirty.
money and then they're
Yeah.
touching the bin. John says, I have my Ric Flair mask. Brad says, I still want a functional Bane mask. That would
Yeah,
be
that'd be
awesome,
good.
especially if you could talk like that. What do you guys see people who are wearing masks, and have you started judging people on masks on the mask they choose to wear quite yet?
Not there, just how they wear it. Not what they wear, but how they wear it.
Will we get to the point where the majority of people have committed to wearing, will it last so long that you will stop doing that the majority of people will stop doing the disposable thing and start investing in taking a mask with you, just like you take in the winter, you take a scarf, or you wear underwear, you pick out your mask. You got your mask drawer, you've got your sock drawer.
Yeah, you're seeing it more. I mean, more people are committing to longer term masks, and especially the ones that are you're getting your own face printed on the bottom of the mask, or you're getting
It'd be better to get
smile.
somebody else's face printed on the bottom of the mask.
I wouldn't mind seeing that, because what bothers me, that's the only judgment I have on masks, is when I see somebody's face or a smile on a mask
smile
from far away. You think, oh, that person's walking around smiling. Then you get up close, you're like, wait a minute,
Or
that
you're
person
like,
just tricked me.
Wear a mask. Oh, I'm sorry, you are. That's just your mask. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Just really confused. That was totally inappropriate of me.
It's a mask that looks like you're coughing.
Yeah. Have you learned to smile with your eyes?
Yeah.
My daughter, we'll take a picture, and my daughter now says, smile with your eyes, because we went on vacation and we couldn't take the masks off. So it's basically, it looks like we took mugshots all over the place that shall not be named, because we're all just standing there like, there's no happiness to be seen. So then you like squint your eyes and you're like, oh, I'm so happy. Put your hands up in the air or something. But being expressive, like when you walk past somebody, if I don't get to hand somebody a smile, I just assume that they think I'm the witchiest person ever.
Oh, yeah, all the time. That's like, smiling is my favorite thing. I'm doing it
Smiling's
now.
my favorite.
I love to smile. And it's something, it's so warm and
The yellow ones
welcoming.
don't stop. It's my favorite line.
And so whenever I don't get to, I feel weird. I feel like people really, like what you just described, Annie, they just think I am the worst human being because they can't see underneath my mask. I'm actually like, hey, it's nice to see you.
Do you ever want to take your mask down and just smile and then put it back up? Like, I just want to let you know that I'm a friendly person. Okay. And a terrible person for pulling your mask down in public.
Shame.
Ryan, how do you make sure that complete strangers in the Walmart aisle know that you're a friendly person?
Well, as you know, and everybody online who's watching us know, I'm always smiling with my eyes. I just have that kind
You're
of
smizing.
I have those kind of eyes that are they just light up a room. So I don't necessarily feel
Who
like
told you that?
Oh, I mean, that's all you see the comments every day.
No, just that one guy who talks about your bald head a lot.
That's true. There's that one guy. That's a real thing. Everything I said was false. Everything Annie said was true.
Real or fake?
One day Ryan goes, this guy makes me feel how you women probably feel on a regular basis.
Yeah, like because it's never overt. It just feels a little like, what exactly are you trying to get at with these comments about the way I look every day?
Exactly what you're feeling.
And
Okay.
like today, somebody said you were giving off a Blue's Clues vibe.
Yeah, that jerk.
Is that an insult? Is that inherently an insult?
I don't know. I don't necessarily enjoy the show Blue's Clues on a regular basis, so I'm assuming that it's below me.
I just can't.
Naturally, anything that you haven't taken.
Can
part
you
in.
show us really quick though, Ryan, what you believe smizing looks like? I'm
Is
sorry.
smiling with your eyes smizing?
Yes.
Cover up your so we
Do you
can't
have a
tell when
mask?
you start smiling.
Okay.
There you go.
See if you can see.
This
Great
is great
radio, folks. Great radio. Nope, he looks like a serial killer. Like Wilson from Home Improvement. This serial, you look like you did something in your pants.
That's pretty accurate. Yeah.
You
Here.
do.
Tell
You're
me,
like,
tell me, have I pooped my pants or have I not?
oh, definitely. Well, it's gonna be hard to tease out of this one.
Well, we're going to the Glover show soon, so
And today would be the day that we meet with our boss to talk about the show, right?
That's right.
Well, you guys, it's been great doing business with you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm just going to see myself out the door. You guys can handle the last segment here. And Frank, thanks for the audible here with the music. Maybe I picked it. I don't remember it, but it's a great song. We'll be back in a minute.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show.
Pressure's high. I'm Evan. And I'm Flora. And I love Mommy Phil. And I love Katie. And Mine Philly.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating over 50 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Mark Cox here. If you need to drop a few pounds, call my friends at Slim 180. Get back in shape, feel great, keep the weight off. You can use their traditional program, the medically supervised HCG Rapid Weight Loss, or the new Quick Start LipoLean. I use the HCG Rapid Weight Loss program, and the weight dropped off in a hurry, sometimes 1.5 pounds a day. All the Slim 180 centers are following COVID-19 guidelines to keep you safe. They've got gloves and masks and plexiglass dividers. You work with their counselors and their doctors one-on-one, either in person or remotely. They can even mail you products or have curbside pickup. You can schedule your free consultation today. They also work with flex spending and health savings account cards. 6 locations: O'Fallon, St. Charles, Sunset Hills, Creve Coeur, Chesterfield, and Florissant. Visit them online today and set up your initial appointment at myslim180.com.
Just left Infinite Wellness Center in Edwardsville and Carbon earlier this morning, and I got this like energy infusion. It was an IV drip, and I am feeling fantastic. There is so much for you at Infinite Wellness, and Dr. Ryan is going to listen to you and help set you up with a path that's going to help you achieve that wellness. I want to talk specifically to you folks who have joint pain, knee pain, arthritic pain. Right now, if you reach out to Infinite Wellness Center at 618-655-0333, that's 618-655-0333, and you mention Annie, you're going to get 25% off of your service, up to $1,000 off care when you mention my name. You can work with them on regenerative medicine protocols. This is for people who, you know, if you're taking steroid shots, if you're taking pain medication, if you see a knee replacement in your future, try this before you go there. Just go see Dr. Ryan, tell him Annie sent you, and get the information you need so that you can push that off, prevent it, and take care of yourself. Infinite Wellness Center, online at infinitewc.com.
In uncertain times, your generosity makes a difference. Today, thanks to community donations, we're here to meet human needs without discrimination. The Salvation Army is helping those in need affected by COVID-19. For those whose wages have been lost, those who are in need of food or have no place to call home, and for so many others who desperately need help and hope in this time. Your donation today ensures no one is turned away or overlooked. To see how you can make a difference, visit salarmymidland.org and give today.
Your garage door is the largest piece of moving equipment in your home. When it needs help, call the experts at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Their certified technicians repair all brands of doors and openers. And you can even schedule evening and weekend service. Just call 314-781-5200. And always look for the red ribbon. It's your assurance you've got the genuine, the original Overhead Door. The most trusted garage door company in St. Louis since 1926. For same-day service, schedule online at overheaddoorstlouis.com or call 314-781-5200.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel, and host of On the Money, heard every Saturday morning at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Nearly every week, our team meets with clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and in some cases actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion on your retirement plan today. When you work with us at the ClearPath Wealth Management Group, we're committed to providing you with guidance that's in your best interest. No exceptions. To request your free consultation, contact us at bobstockdale.com. That's bobstockdale.com. Again, that's bobstockdale.com. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
The Mark Cox Morning Show.
My guest on the bottom line, she's Democrat and attorney Jane Duker.
Donald Trump Jr.'s screaming girlfriend. That was a little creepy.
Mark Cox, weekday mornings 5 to 9 on 97.1 FM Talk.
So have we decided how to say Hurricane Laura yet?
Yeah, we decided that we were right, and it's Laura.
Laura, yeah. Have you guys heard anyone say Laura yet, or Lara?
Laura.
Well, since you asked that at the beginning of the show, I've been part of this show, and so no.
I thought you were going to say I've been focused the entire show on that.
I've been tuning out.
Isaias was hard enough to say. Now we've got Laura, and that appears to be difficult as well. I've heard some people suggest, somebody's commented here on our live chat that Facebook is officially going, and I saw an article about this too. Facebook in September is supposed to be officially transitioning over to the new model.
No.
It's not okay, Facebook.
No.
I'm just about done with you.
We are not okay. Yeah, I hate that. Oh man, I'm gonna have to get used to it, I guess. But when it transitioned me over, I just quit using Facebook on my desktop and just went back to the app on my phone.
Yeah, why do this to us now? Does Facebook not know that people are already high on stress this year? Can't you just delay it a little bit?
No, they probably thought they could sneak it in.
And
Yeah.
didn't they do a survey or some kind of group where people got to vote or something saying, would you prefer the old or the new? And you're telling me if they actually did something like that, people said, yeah, I prefer the new platform. No, that's not true. It's a lie.
Yeah. I'm not here for it. We'll be on Facebook Live. We're on, I think we got kicked off of Facebook Live today. So we're at the YouTube, Annie Frey YouTube page. Go there and subscribe if you will. And you can watch the rest of the show on the Annie Frey YouTube page. We'll have to brace ourselves because I think it's coming no matter what.
Hate it.
It's like winter is coming. I've never watched a single episode of that show.
Oh, that's a show?
It's Game
I
of
guess I've never seen
Thrones.
that show either.
Did you ever
since I
watch
didn't
Game of
know.
Thrones? Did you?
I watched about half of one episode once and was like, man, this seems overhyped, and never tuned back in.
Sounds like you gave it a fair shot.
I think so.
Yeah. Everyone's saying that Facebook did go down. Thank you for being with us on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. And also a reminder that if you ever want to check out something that happened during the show, maybe you just missed it, or especially if you like came in right in the middle of an interview or something, or some really compelling conversation that we're having about how Ryan smiles with his eyes, you can go on to radio.com. It's an app that we have, and you can favorite 97.1 FM Talk, and you can just rewind there and hear the station, the show. It goes right into Glover's show as well. And stick around with us there. So radio.com. I do want to acknowledge before we turn the show over to the Glover folks is what's going on in Kenosha. And I have not discussed this on this show yet because I am very apprehensive to discuss things without facts. I've seen things, even in the George Floyd circumstance. I read an article yesterday that suggested that the full autopsy report showed that he had like 4 times a fatal amount of fentanyl in his system. He also had speed and marijuana in his system. Does that excuse what happened to him? I'm not saying it does at all, but it's context. And I think that all of that information is important, but this is information we're getting now in August. We have had so much strife and turmoil in our country since then. And I think the Kenosha situation and the shooting of Jacob Blake is in the same context of George Floyd. And there's been an arrest made because last night some people were shot dead. And my husband and I were actually sitting after the convention ended, and we were watching some of the unrest taking place in Wisconsin. And I said to him, it's amazing that the actual rioting and violence that's taken place in the seat hasn't resulted in any death. And then it happened last night. I shouldn't have said anything. Does it surprise you that it's taken this long for something really, life-threatening bad to happen? Is it?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I mean, how long has the rioting and the looting been going on? And it's taken months for people to just die in the streets. It's terrifying, though. It's absolutely terrifying right now.
Do you feel like you're safe from it in your suburban neighborhood, Ryan? Or do you feel like this could come to my house?
No, I don't think it will. I do feel safe in my neighborhood, but I also don't think that this is the first time we've seen death. I mean, remember David Dorn, and that was here.
His name was mentioned last night at
was
the
it?
convention. Yeah.
Okay. And so, this kind of stuff, it wears you out, because when you see a video, you go, what am I going to watch? And what's the reaction to this going to be? And that's what scares me more than anything is watching things pop up on Twitter. What's going to happen next? Like, what's going to be the next thing? Is that going to be in St. Louis? Is it going to involve people I know? That's where it starts to really just sort of wear you out.
There are so many details surrounding Jacob Blake and what's going on in Wisconsin, and his parents have spoken out, and I've got sound from this. Like, this is one of those things that I could spend the whole show talking about this. It's a personal decision. It might be the wrong one. It might be the right one. But for us on this show specifically, I don't want to go into the Jacob Blake conversation only having the context of the situation, the stories that have come before it, and melding that together with everything going on with Jacob Blake, because Jacob's story is his own story, just like Breonna Taylor's story is her own story, and Ahmaud Arbery and all of these other individuals, they're not all the same. And we shouldn't be looking at them like they're all the same until we have all the facts that point us in the direction that say that there is a significant consistency here. I don't have all the facts. I don't think all the facts are available to have. It's not like I haven't looked it up. There are things that we don't know. And if there's one thing that I want to contribute to your day or to add to the discussion, I really want to make sure that when we do, and we will have the difficult decisions on the show, that we do it from a place of knowing and not inferring or assuming or guessing, because there's way too much of it and the stakes are so high. And I'm not talking about any political elections. I'm talking about lives and our youth. And, you know, you look around the country, these businesses, these are livelihoods. I don't want to be first to the information because I don't want to risk getting it wrong. And so if we're not first to talking about it, if you listen to this whole show waiting to hear what I think about this and I didn't talk about it, that is a purposeful decision on my part, because I feel like if I'm going to do right by you, I need to know more. And I don't think that information is out there yet.
Yeah, right now we have basically 25 seconds of video. And we all, I don't know about you, Annie, but when I watched it, I react emotionally. Your jaw drops and you go, this is terrible.
I haven't watched it.
And but then there's nothing else you can do. You just wait to find out, well, what happened outside the 20 seconds of video, because you don't know. And in this case in particular, it's taking a long time to get any more context. And I don't know why that is, but it is, I guess, as part of the investigation.
And I also want to add too that I have sound here because Jacob Blake's parents were talking with Don Lemon, and the question was asked to them about how they felt about their politicians. And Jacob Blake's parents said something in regards to the president that was actually probably, if I played it for you, would be flattering to Donald Trump. You know what this is not about? Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I am not going to use the situation surrounding Kenosha, Wisconsin as just an extra feather in the cap of anything that has to do with this presidential election, what they have said about Donald Trump. I mean, I hope that we can move to a place where we understand that the finger on the pulse of our country, we've had too much over sensationalized drama surrounding these issues, that we need to take certain things very seriously and stop running to our separate corners and trying to advocate for what we want to be true. Let's just wait and find out what actually is true.
And you don't have to be first. You have to be right. You don't have to be the first person to break the story or make everything, level everything up because you want to be the first person to get all the ratings. You have to be right when you're presenting this kind of information.
That's called being responsible.
Ryan, can you smile with your eyes just one more time?
Yeah, just real quick. Let me see if I can go low enough to eat.
When they go low,
we smize.
You look so crazy. I really am grateful for the people who just tuned in right now. This is how they ended the show. Okay. All righty. Moving on. The DGS is coming up next. Thank you to everybody who watched us today on Facebook, on the Annie Frey YouTube channel, and trying to push us over that 13,000 likes mark. Please make sure you tune into the Facebook page tonight as I interview Congressman Mike Bost and hopefully Congresswoman to be Jeannie Ives. I would love to have the support from you there. Annie Frey Show Facebook. Dave Glover Show coming up next.
I'm not America's sweetheart. It's the 20th anniversary of 97.1, and we're celebrating 20